Welcome to the Good Faith Podcast, where I'm going to maneuver around debauchery and degeneracy, attempting to find harmony with our fellow man. If it's a pre-apocalyptic dystopia that you seek, then look no further, because here it is. I'm your host, Ninjah Bullock. We understand you could have been a million other places, and that time's the most precious commodity that any of us have. So from the bottom of our hearts, we'd like to share our gratitude with all of you. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. Due to the sensitive nature of some of our topics, we hope you'll shield youngins from some of the vulgarity that may be spewed here. It must be noted that the views expressed by the panel are not necessarily the views of the Good Faith Podcast, and we're not liable for any results incurred by the utilization of our advice, nor are we a fiduciary and assume no culpability of investment performance as a result of following our financial advice. Our simple aim is to entertain and inform. Anybody living in the greater Philadelphia area interested in making an appearance on our show can reach me in a DM on Facebook or Instagram at Christopher Bulick. See our Patreon link in the description if you'd like to make a campaign contribution to facilitate our meteoric rise. And as a candidate of the people, I solemnly swear I won't misappropriate the funds. I won't spend them at Myrtle Beach golf courses. I won't gas up a corporate jet to fly to Tulum. I won't fund arms dealers in the Middle East with Stinger missiles and Harrier jets. I won't buy stupid shit.
I open a savings account in your name. That way, 500 years later, it'll be worth billions. Billions.
Oh, I like money.
There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
In all seriousness,
Joseph Fowler said, "Go Birds."
Go fucking birds. I'm going to get into that in a second. As a candidate of the people, I solemnly swear I won't misappropriate the funds. I won't spend them at Myrtle Beach golf courses. I won't gas up a corporate jet to fly to Tulum. I won't fund arms dealers in the Middle East with Stinger missiles and Harrier jets. Wait, I already said this. In all seriousness, times are tough, and any proceeds we receive will be going towards avoiding eviction, keeping the lights on, medicating Clark with all of his health concerns, and feeding our gracious guests. Once again, if you feel you've been given value by us, it takes a little bit of extra effort to like and subscribe. Guys, if you're watching right now, I need you to like and subscribe. Heart emoji, thumbs up that shit. We really want to hear from you. And, any support is good support. Speaking of support, we're going to tell you the platforms where you can support us. This is your notification that we're now available on not only YouTube, but Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Patreon, Amazon Music, Samsung Podcasts, Listen Notes, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and RSS.com. We'll keep pushing out these episodes so long as our following stays growing. Here's a special shout out to our faraway friends in Christchurch, Kenya, Zambia, Nigeria, Venezuela, Finland, San Diego, San Jose, San Francisco, Portland, Cheyenne, Nebraska, Salt Lake City, Denver, Phoenix, Chattanooga, Winston-Salem, Birmingham, Atlanta, Lexington, Kansas City, St. Paul, St. Louis, Detroit, Nashville, Minneapolis, Milwaukee, South Bend, Richmond, D.C., Vancouver, Edmonton, Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, Calgary, Harrisburg, Albany, and New York City. You guys fill my heart with joy every time I see y'all pop up on the map. And if you'd be so kind, like Joe just did, chat in. Let us know where you're chatting from. Joe's obviously in the Philadelphia area. Go fucking birds. And, chat in. Let us know where you're chatting from. And we'll try and target your demographic with content specific to you. The path to notoriety will be for our listeners to spread the good word of the pod. If you have somebody in mind who would agree with our content, may be informed, or even if you want to ridicule us, send a link to your friends and family. All publicity is good publicity. Our objective is to have balance between the red and the blue. So if you have somebody in mind who enjoys listening to pods, please spread our channel. If you're interested in joining our movement, we represent the IRYOBYOAWMO movement. That means I respect you only because your opinion aligns with my own. It's okay to show love and tolerance to anybody with an aligned opinion. Feel free to disrespect anybody whose opinion mirrors yours. Feel free to disrespect anybody whose opinion doesn't mirror yours and treat them with bratty toxicity. After all, respect is only earned by somebody with an identical belief system as your own. #IriUBiamo. Now, if you're just joining us for the first time, I'll introduce myself. Most of our viewers...
Chris Fullen said, "No more MR nice guy. Go Birds."
Yo, no more Mr. fucking nice guy. Go Birds. And, alright, real quick, I guess we'll get into this bird shit. So, fucking, I don't want us fucking Eagles to be nice to these commie bastards, alright? They're they made the fatal mistake that everybody makes when they fucking come in here. They threw a fucking jersey on Rocky, dude. Alright, like, it is what it is. I'm actually not even mad about it. I think it's like hilarious. The last...
Terrence Boyle Jr. said, "Hey Chris."
Hey Terry. The last 5 motherfuckers who came into our city and hung a jersey on Rocky, where the Vikings did it like twice. We beat their ass both times. Who else did it? Fuck. Did the Cowboys ever do it? The Cowboys probably did it. All I know is every single team who's ever come to playoffs put a jersey on Rocky, we beat their ass. So squirt a little bit of kerosene into this fire. Like, you're gonna see exactly what the fuck's up. We're gonna come in. We're gonna be hot. We're gonna fucking beat your asses. All right. So my name's Ninja Bullock. I'm 33. My occupation is I'm a life skills coach. I'm also a face painter and photographer down at Lincoln Financial Field. And I was there for the Rams game. I swear I could count on all my fingers all the Rams fans that I saw there. There were I don't know if there were double digit Rams fans. In a packed house of 70,000 people, maybe 9 Rams fans in total. So, I'm sure there will be a lot more Commies fans because it's a lot closer of a commute to get here. All it is just a short little 3-hour train ride up north. But come here, come hopeful. You're gonna leave disappointed because we're gonna fucking serve you your fucking asses. But I'm a photographer, face painter at the Eagles games.
D-Rog said, "I thought you weren't streaming lol."
Yo, why the fuck would I not be? I'm a motherfucking... I pride myself on consistency. So, yo, what's up, Dan, though? Dan, we gonna talk about the motherfucking Eagles, yo. The Birds gonna handle business this weekend. But yeah...
MRD's 1117 said, "A."
I'm gonna let these chats come in.
Said, "Will you be there Sunday?"
Oh, I'm gonna be there.
Said, "Because you told me to take the day off."
I always forget that D-Rug is not Dan Ruggiero, it's Cherney. I asked you if you would like to take the day off because we're not gonna have any fucking, we're not gonna have any guests. I don't really have much of an agenda planned. I'm just doing this so I can, fucking fill time and remain consistent. But, I'm not exactly, I'm not too hopeful that this is going to be like a great fucking show. This is going to be a can't miss show. You know what I mean? It's just going to be what it is. You know what I mean? Like it's a good show, it's a good show for people to miss, but I'm truly grateful about the people who are here. And my highest level of education completed is an associate's degree in liberal arts. My relationship status is I'm single. My longest relationship is about 3 years. My orientation is heterosexual. My spiritual beliefs are Christian.
D-Rog said, "It's gonna be better with me not there."
Well, that's not necessarily true. But if you say so. All right, so I'm gonna do. So let's talk about our mission statement, and I'm gonna talk about some of the new segments that we're gonna roll out here. So our mission statement is to empower men to reach their full potential, to maximize their own self-improvement through discarding the chronic victim mentality, and to thwart the great sex recession by promoting average men to higher status and knocking some women down a peg, deflating their massively inflated egos. We want to enrich our listeners so they may become fully self-sustaining, financially, and entirely debt-free. I'd like to, obviously, within this year, hopefully double our...
MRD's 1117 said, "Like and subscribe."
Yo, y'all motherfuckers need to like and subscribe or I'm shutting this shit down, all right? I'm just saying, man. I can't be doing this for no fucking likes and subscribes. Y'all motherfuckers gonna need to like and subscribe right now. I'm turning the chat off. You guys got like 3 minutes to fucking thumbs up that shit. I got I'm gonna let these chats come in.
Joseph Fowler said, smash that heart button.
I got a bunch of fucking Kevin Samuels sound bites. Like I got
I find it funny that women like yourself, baby mamas, also want to get stingy with the puss. If you had to rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10 and you can't use 7, face only.
Chris Fullen said, it's nice to step out of your comfort zone and try a solo show.
It is, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying it on, you know what I mean? It's nothing that we do is set in stone, you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna play with it until we, you know, get into a rhythm that we really find to be, you know, like, especially productive and you know, engaging. But, you know, I really appreciate all the chatters coming in here and chatting heavily. You know, I need that kind of support. So, yeah, I want to double my subscribers. I want to fucking 10x my like watch time. If we do those two things, we'll become a fully monetized channel. And as lustrous as that sounds, I don't even think having a monetized channel is like enough to live off of. Like we're gonna need the Patreon to be bringing in, you know, steady recurring revenue. So I want to get the Patreon subscriptions to like 200 plus. If I could do that, you know, if I could have 200 plus Patreon subscribers, that's $200 a month. So anybody, if you're watching right now, you're interested in subscribing to the Patreon, it's a great way to help out the channel. And also, you know, like I'm working like a slave to try and provide value to the Patreon page. You know what I mean? More so than I am right here. This is maybe just entertainment value. You could judge that for yourself. But I'm trying to actually like get into, you know, try my hand in journalism. So I'm posting an article a week to the Patreon. Last week was on the stock Coca-Cola. Cheers, salud. And this week I still haven't decided. You know, it's like I got a lot going on. I'm wearing many different hats besides just the Philadelphia Birds hat. And you know, I'm really, you know, but I am prioritizing the Patreon page and making sure that it is a place where I can provide ample value to the subscribers. So that's what I set out to do. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, on to this part. Nasty, are you still there? Nasty, let me get a year if you're still here. Cause this part is gonna be like the fucking This is gonna be the part of the show that is gonna be Kevin Samuel-esque. I want to be like the Godfather. Why the fuck? So, see, I don't even understand why. Here we go. Okay. Alright, so what we're going to do on the show is we're going to do the fragrance of the week. And the fragrance of the week this week is Cupid Hypnosis. So, Cupid Hypnosis is it's like a cologne for men. It's got notes of vanilla, amber, musk, spice, lemon, mint, grapefruit, ginger, ambergris, and jasmine. And if the word ambergris sounds familiar, it's because the origin is in the intestines of fucking sperm whales. You know what I mean? So it's like a highly rare resource and shit like this. But this shit smells nice and fresh. You know what I mean? It's a really good cologne. I'm gonna try and feature a new cologne every single episode. The shirt's made by Travel Forward.
Chris Fullen said, ladies will eat that ish up.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, like I'm gonna have y'all guys looking good, smelling good, playing good. So the shirt of the week is from Travel Forward, nice and colorful. Slacks of the week are a nice nude slack out of Ralph Lauren. Hat of the week, of course, I had to go with the Birds. Go Birds. And book of the week, it was suggested to me by Devin. He suggested The Ways of the Superior Man, so I popped on that audio book. It's really difficult for me to like read a fucking paper book, you know, as often as I would like to. So I'm gonna, like, a lot of the books that I read are gonna be audio books, because with audio books you could just power through one a night. Yeah, I mean, if you really want to, you could burn through audio books. Influencer of the week is a guy named Rich Cooper, and if you guys haven't heard of Rich Cooper, I want you to seriously check him out. He's really, really, really smart, you know, really in command of his own frame, and he's a guy that I really enjoyed listening to. I was listening to him last night. Stock of the week, fuck it. We'll just recycle it, go all the way. Coca-Cola is the stock of the week. If you got enough Coca-Cola, it's, I just, if you check out the Patreon, you pay $1 a month for the Patreon, you can read my analysis on Coca-Cola. I think it's, honestly, I'm not even like blowing smoke up Coke's ass. Like, I think that Coke is a top 2 stock in the entire world. You know, the only stock that I think is superior to Coke is Microsoft. You know, if you want a stock that's going to give you like a 3% dividend yield, you want nice steady growth. You don't want to have to like fucking ride the ups and the downs. You just want like a nice steady, lazy ride up to the summit. Go with Coca-Cola. It's a very safe and profitable stock, and get you good dividends if you want some income. All right, so I was mentioning Rich Cooper, and we were talking about a lot of you guys probably don't know who he is. So he's a red pill influencer, and he talks a lot about. Yeah.
What's up?
You joining?
Yeah, you sound like you need support.
All right. Do I?
You said you needed support.
I'm not good solo.
I mean, you can. Oh, Clark's your support.
Yeah, he's down there.
He's literally sitting right there.
So. Yeah. So, we're talking about Rich Cooper's 20 red flags in a woman. So, he is a red pill influencer. He talks about you know, like men having game, men being in control of their frame, men fucking being, you know, just fully in control of their lives. So, number 1 red flag is daddy issues. And this makes sense. A woman's gonna judge her entire relationship with all men based on her relationship with her dad. If she's got a bad relationship with her dad, she's gonna have a bad relationship with all men. So you should, you know, really take that into consideration.
I don't think all men she would have a bad relationship with, but like it probably increases the odds that she's gonna have a bad relationship.
Yeah, these might not necessarily be ironclad applicable to everything, but for the most part.
Said, "Hello, friends, Red Heart."
Hey, Kate. All right, Kate. I want you to hear these especially, because I'm sure you could like fucking verify or reject some of these. Like put yourself in Easton's shoes in 20 years. Like you're guiding and advising Easton about the woman that he's gonna, you know, propose to, and if that woman is any of these things, any of these 20 red flags, you know, Rich Cooper is advising to steer clear. Number 1 is daddy issues. If she's got daddy issues, if she's got a bad relationship with her dad, she's gonna have a bad relationship with all or most men. Number 2, Rich Cooper says, is feminists. I happen to agree. I think a feminist is a big red flag in a woman. I think it's something that has. I think it's a movement that has. I think it's like it's matriarchy. It's matriarchy thinly veiled as equality. It's just something that is dividing the two genders when we should be trying to come together. We should be trying to work together so we can improve the human species. Feminists are seeking advocacy for women, and that's a term that they can't even define themselves. So I think feminists have a lot of things messed up, especially maybe...
K-Fem said, yuck, feminist daddy issues create a lot of issues, so neither for my son face rolling on the floor laughing.
Yeah. All right. And first wave feminists, like I'm fine with women suffragettes that thought that they should get the right to vote. They just wanted to, join the workforce and be, like contributing members of society and not be, handcuffed to a stove making casseroles and shit. That's different than fourth wave feminists now who are like doing some really like over the top shit that I don't think is really conducive to the betterment of the human species. Kate, if you haven't, please you've already subscribed, but please thumbs up this video. Red flag number 3 is the unhappy and the unlucky. Do you know some of those people that just like always seem to have bad luck? They never are, nothing ever goes their way. It just seems like misfortune begets them. I don't know if that's necessarily chance. I don't believe in luck. I think luck is a coincidence of opportunity and preparation. So if someone is always if somebody is always unprepared and somebody is always like inopportune, and the like intersection of those two things happen, they just happen to be unhappy and unlucky for all of their life. Don't invite that into your life. You could just get with somebody who's happy and lucky, someone who prepares and who, seizes every opportunity. Red flag number 4 is overly competitive. See, I don't necessarily see this as like such a glaring red flag. What about you, Cherney?
I mean, that sounds like pretty much all men, but
that's what I'm saying. Like this is not a red flag for men. These are red flags for women.
So women can't be competitive, but men can.
Sure, yeah. What do you have a gripe or a grievance with that?
I mean, I don't usually like competitive, like not competitive, but like cocky people is what I don't like. Competitive is fine. Like if you want to like beat me at a video game or something or a board game, yeah, I would want to play more with that.
Yeah, like I think playful and overly competitive are two different things.
Yeah. And
I think one thing that's important to remember is that men and women are not the same. They ought not to be the same. And like attraction is not symmetrical. So like what makes a man attractive 9 times out of 10 makes a woman unattractive. I mean, I'm sure like, and I even kind of held these up to the standards. Like women, a red flag for a woman is a guy who's like a mama's boy. It's like the complete opposite of daddy issues. Like if he's got too close of a relationship with his mom, it might turn some women off.
But that's not the opposite. Opposite would be a daddy's girl then, wouldn't it?
Well, that's a green flag for a girl to be a daddy's girl. Yeah. You want a daddy's girl because she's going to...
Yeah, but then... So wouldn't the opposite be like having bad-ish relations with your mom? If it's like...
No, that's not the opposite. That's the equivalent.
No, because a daddy's... Or a mama's boy means they have a good relationship with their mom.
Yes.
So wouldn't the opposite be having a bad relationship with your mom?
No, that'd be equivalent.
How's that equivalent? That's the opposite.
No.
What do you mean?
Like, they're not the same. Like, the equivalence of a strong man in a woman would be a strong woman. No man prioritizes that. The equivalence of daddy issues would be mommy issues, which is
But you're saying a mama's boy. Mama's boy isn't mommy issues. That's one who has a good relationship.
It's the opposite, yeah.
But no, the opposite would be the one that has mommy issues.
No.
Okay.
-2 is the opposite of +1. It's like
Let's just move on.
all right. Kate, you could verify for me. Which would be a bigger red flag? A guy who's got issues with his mom, he doesn't have a good relationship, or a guy who's like his mommy's little boy, like he's just like this, this mama's boy, like he lives and dies by every word that his mom says. Or if he has zero relationship with his mom, which is a bigger red flag.
Those all sound like red flags. I feel like the green flag would just be having like a healthy relationship. You're not like over dependent on her, but you're also not like hating her.
Yeah. But I think a lot more women would opt to have the mom not in his life than have the mom too involved in his life.
Sure.
But it's not the same for men. Men would probably rather a woman be too influenced by her father than have a tumultuous relationship with her father.
You're not getting is
Chris Fullen said, I needs me a mommy. Lol. Kate M. said, mommy's little boy lives by his mom and puts her first is a huge red flag.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but the thing you're saying is you're equating the mom to the dad. Like they're two, like the opposite parts of the parental figures. And you're saying like the opposite of the opposite is the opposite.
Either way, I'm not going to get too involved in these for men. Maybe somebody else can make a 20 red flags for men.
I want my son to be close to me my whole life, but I understand that his wife one day will come first.
Yeah. And yeah. Okay, so red flag number 5, keeping her exes around. It's just like a total deal breaker. And if you're a lady out there keeping your exes around, I mean, I've definitely dealt with women who did this, and I mean it's a bad look. It's a bad look. One, your reputation is everything in a relationship. If she's keeping a bunch of guys that still think that they can fuck, and she's keeping them in the friend zone, they're just like eagerly awaiting you to fail, and just chomping at the bit to get inside her panties. Like it's gonna be bad. One, like every time you guys get in a fight, she's running out to talk with her exes and shit like that. Like you should, if you have an ex partner, excommunicado. You know what I mean? Don't fucking don't keep them around. Don't keep in contact with them.
Said, fuck no exes around, sorry, and I'm a very confident woman in my marriage and relationship.
Yeah,
you know me, Chris, I'm like a dude and chill when it comes to women around death.
Yeah, like me too. Like I'm not Mr. Jealousy, like why is he around? Why are you talking to him? But like like my last ex did did make a habit of talking to her exes, and then even when I became her ex, she kind of like continued talking with me, but then we nipped that in the bud because we realized that it was a gigantic red flag for her, and it's never gonna lead to good relationships with your current person.
Kate M. said, I am not jealous or controlling one bit, but exes need to stay exes, and that's that.
Yeah. Maybe if Facebook reminds you it's their birthday, say happy birthday, maybe Merry Christmas, but like no more than that. Maybe if their parent passes away, you console them, but they're dead. They should be dead to you unless you're fine with being a walking, bright red flag. Red flag number 6 is bad with money. This is huge for me. I don't need to be dating a woman who's like a fucking entrepreneur and she's like filthy rich, but like the money that she does have, she needs to respect it. She cannot be just like trash with money because I think the number one cause of divorce is financial issues. So like, do you want somebody who's going to, the number one reason why couples fight is financial issues. Do you really want to put a big fucking contributor into breakups? You know, it's going to drive a wedge into your relationship. It's going to cause you guys to spout and fight about fucking the money. You know what I mean? If two people in a relationship are both good with money, it's gonna lead to a happier, more peaceful, more harmonious relationship.
Sounds like you should be pro-choice then.
What? Why?
18 years of a kid is a huge financial burden.
Well, that's why I advocate for not sticking your penis into anybody that you're not ready to have a kid with. Red flag number 7 is violent. Don't get with a violent person. And like, I'm sure we've all seen the girl who fucking, my ex hit me, my ex was abusive.
Said, I'm all for independence and making money on my own, being successful on my own 100%, but never want my husband to feel less than me.
Nah, like fucking, yeah, I mean, like, people who are good with money tend to be a little more generous with money too, and they're not gonna like, you know, if you give them something, they're gonna appreciate it more. If you know, like people like attracts like. So people who are shitty with money are probably gonna attract people who are shitty with money, and people who are good with money are probably gonna attract people who are good with money. So,
Kate M. said, facts, Chris.
So violence. I'm sure we've all seen the girl who like is always getting abused, right? And like, I don't wanna victim blame, but some people bring it on themselves. Like, I'm not saying that every woman who's ever been abused deserved it. I'm not saying that at all. But there are 100% women who start shit that they aren't fucking prepared for. You know what I mean? They'll lay their hands on their husband or lay their hands on their boyfriend and push him to a point of, push him to a breaking point, say little shit to get under his skin, intentionally upset him, and then they're astonished when, the altercation escalates into...
KM said, the problem these days is a lot of girls beat the man and don't expect a man to defend himself. That's
exactly.
not right.
Yeah. And so I'm not saying that a man should ever put his hands on a woman, but I think the equivalent is that a woman should also never put her hands on a man. Like, it's okay to like playfully slap him on the chest or, hit him where he's got a lot of meat, like the chest specifically, but
I say his fat belly.
Well, hopefully the man doesn't have a fat belly because he's taking care of himself. But yeah, I mean, like, if a woman like
KM said, of course not, but a woman should never touch a man, Eve.
Yeah. It should go both ways. And this is an equivalent red flag for a man too. Like, if a man ever hits a woman, that's a red flag. If a woman ever hits a man, it's a red flag. Like, physical violence, really any type of violence, if you do anything that's going to like escalate a situation, it's bad. Red flag 8 is extreme jealousy. What do you think about this one? Do you think this is worthy of being a red? Like, is this a red flag to you? Yeah. Okay.
It is, or
no? I think it. I do. I don't think. I think
funny
it's.
that you asked me about this one, but not the others.
I think this is maybe the least.
One specifies
said,
extreme.
I can't handle jealously, and it's a huge red flag to me.
I think
specifies extreme. So I feel like they're meaning like really obsessive and controlling about like who you're seeing and stuff, rather than just being like you got jealous because like they looked at like there's reasons people get jealous. Like, I'm sure you get jealous, I get jealous, but like to a certain degree. Like, there's definitely reasons to get jealous, and there's like you're able to control your jealousy. A lot of people aren't when it gets to like an extreme degree, and they become more controlling with their partners.
Kate M. said, a little jealously is nice, but I feel like the more jealous you are, the more you push the other partner away. Kate M. said, I agree with Journey.
Yeah, like, yeah, I agree. Like, and you really shouldn't be doing anything to make your partner jealous. You know, you should have some, like, tact and some grace.
Sure. I feel like sometimes it's kind of, you can't really help it. Like, sometimes you'll hang out with people of the opposite sex. You can't really like just never hang out with anyone of the opposite sex, or like of the sex you're attracted to, I guess, specifically. And like sometimes your partner will get jealous of that because like maybe that's an attractive person, or they think that's an attractive person, or someone that might be your type. And it's fair to get jealous of that, but it's also fair to trust your partner.
Yeah, trust, respect, honesty are the three pillars that every relationship is founded on. And if one of those starts to erode, there needs to be honest, open communication about it. If you're jealous, you know, like if you're jealous, there's no harm in honestly. There probably is harm. I don't
disagree. I think you can honestly talk about it. Like if you like. Don't come at it like aggressively or anything. Just like bring up, hey, like I was just a little jealous that you were like hanging out with this other person, but I know it didn't really mean anything, and like that we're still rock solid or whatever. Like
this, I don't know why this just brought up. So guys, hopefully we got people still here listening. This just jogged this event in my memory. So a couple weeks ago at the Bills game, two couples went with each other to the Bills game, and
were they Bills fans?
Yeah. Two Bills fans couples went to the Bills game. Security retrieved one of the boyfriend and one of the girlfriend from a bathroom stall because they were fucking in the men's bathroom stall. So that would have been okay if they were each other's boyfriend and girlfriend, but it was the one boyfriend and the other girlfriend. So the security had to like go to the couple and be like, or to the other two and be like,
I'm assuming they didn't know.
Yeah, no, and they were like, guys, sorry, but we had to, kick out your partners because they were shagging in the bathroom stall.
Oh my god!
I mean, hopefully they're all broken up now. Maybe the loyal ones, maybe the loyal ones could have gotten together as a result of it.
Yeah, isn't that like a? I feel like I've seen that storyline in some like movies and shows before.
Kate M. said, "Oh my god."
I couldn't imagine like the embarrassment. All right, red flag number 9, loves to party. I'd say it's all right to party on like your birthday. It's all right to party on Christmas. Party on specific party times like holidays and shit like that. But if it's becoming like a weekly occurrence or a monthly occurrence, it's probably too much partying. I mean, I like to party more. I like to party just as much as the next guy, if not more. But
well, what do we mean by partying? Do we mean like clubs or like house parties or? Like
I think it's all
drinking with friends.
Yeah, it's all. I think it's all under the party umbrella.
I feel like some partying is like more of a red flag than ours. Like going to clubs all the time, like.
Yeah, definitely. But I even think like house parties are worse than clubs. Like
I guess I was thinking more of just like drinking with friends, not like house parties is like going to like just some like there's just a bunch of random people there. And you're
yeah, but I would like I guess I'm not a drinker, but I would like I don't want my girl to be drinking every free opportunity that she gets outside of work and shit like that.
You're like partying with her, and you don't have to be drinking.
It's just like I'm like I said, I'm fine with like maybe like once a month. You know, once a month is acceptable. Anything more than that is just excessive, in my opinion. You know, how much dopamine does this person need if they need to party? Like,
I mean, everyone needs dopamine. We just get it in different ways.
Yeah, but like, what do you think is too much? Do you think weekly is not too much?
Suitor 2013 said, I came in late. Is partying like getting drunk and loud music with 50 people, or is party like 15 friends? Hanging out, enjoying good food and light drinks?
That's what I'm saying.
Technically that is partying, but I think this is more along the lines of like getting drunk, listening to dubstep or EDM, and then listen, I love this stuff just as much as the next guy, but if you overdo it, you overdo it. You know what I mean? Like there's I'm an alcoholic in recovery. Like I believe that we all have some threshold where you put too much substances, you put too much stimulus into your brain and into your body, and you just reach this point of no return where you're no longer just enjoying like a little buzz, where it becomes like where you become dependent upon abusing the lifestyle. So I don't want to date a person who's also flirting with that threshold, or heavens forbid has gone past that threshold and is no longer like a normal moderate partier. You know what I mean?
I would say the same with pretty much anything. If you're like doing something like every day, and like it's like controlling, like you have to do it basically in like almost any aspect.
It could be shopping, it could be gambling, it could be having sex, it could be doing drugs, it could be drinking, it could be
video games,
could be masturbation, porn, video games, anything that is like altering the chemical composition of your brain to a point where you are dependent upon it in order to be okay. I think it is dangerous. It's a red flag regardless. Red flag number 10, heavily tatted and pierced. I think you're definitely probably even like this is a bigger red flag for you than me. I feel
I
like
don't really think it's a red flag. It's not my type. Like I'm not interested in like a lot of tattoo. I'm not really interested in like really any tattoos or piercings that much. Like I guess ear piercings and maybe like a couple tattoos, but in general I just don't find it attractive, but I don't think it's like a red flag specifically.
I think it's all dependent upon the tastefulness of it.
Sure.
Like if a girl's got 2 ear piercing, like that's why it says
like ear piercing is just like almost everyone.
It says
Kate
heavily.
said, tatted I love, heavily pierced no thanks.
See, like like I said, it's all about the taste. It's all about the tastefulness of it. Like if she's got 10 piercings, but they're like spread around her body, they're not extremely visible. Like I'm fine with just like the ear piercings, maybe like a tiny little stud in the nose. Don't really want
2013 said, red flag. If they are hurt, then you don't know to call a doctor or mechanic.
What? So like the only ones I'm okay with are ears, belly button, and nipples.
What? Not a stud in the nose?
I don't really like anything in the nose.
I don't really like it, but I'm not gonna like. I don't care about it. It's like
K-Pen said, no neck or face or head tats.
Yeah, neck, face, no, none of that. I don't want any torso tats. Mm-hmm. No torso tats.
Mainly just limbs, I guess.
Yeah,
and like not really much of it.
Yeah, like, and I would even say, No, I like I said, Kate. Wait, I think this is about to come in.
K-Pan said, watch it. I have a stud in my nose, but it's small, lol.
I said a stud in the nose is like a non-factor for me. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's the same as not having it. The mark of the devil though is that fucking thick septum ring.
I thought you were gonna say lower back tattoo.
No, I mean. The tramp stamp of 2025 is the underboob ornamental like chandelier. Everyone's got it.
Isn't wings like a common thing too?
Probably.
Like
K-Pan said, "Ooh, I was just gonna say the bull nose ring is gross, lol."
The mark of the devil in 2025 is the thick septum ring and the ornamental underboob tattoo. Those two are just a terrible combination.
So they have both. Ooh.
Or if she's got the underbutt ribbons, I see that all the time. Is the underbutt ribbons like on the hamstrings?
What is that? Like they just have ribbons,
or like a bow, like bows. There'll be like tattoos of bows.
Yeah, on I feel like I've never seen that.
Let's see. Keep talking, guys. I'm bringing this up here. I'll put on some Kevin Samuel while we.
None.
No, I'm not finished.
None. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
Last year, this year I weighed 165.
No, ma'am. I said you're finished. You're finished.
I'm done.
Yep.
There's nothing left for me.
Not realistically.
So this is what I'm talking about. The bows on the back of the legs.
What the heck? I feel like I've never seen that.
It's common. I mean, you're probably not.
I don't usually look at the back of people's legs.
Yeah, and it's also like, it's kind of like a low class thing. Like you're probably not hanging out with a bunch of low class women.
I guess.
We can hope. All right, number 11 is a high notch count. I mean,
Notch.
Since the dawn of time, women have been the selective breeding.
I assume we're
gender.
talking about body count, right?
Yeah. Although
I've never heard it called notch count.
Well, all right. Do you know where the term where I'm pretty sure the term body count comes from the military? Like when you murdered a certain amount of people, that was your body count, right? So I think the true body count of a woman is how many fetuses she's murdered. So I like to draw a distinction between body count and notch count. If she's got a body count of any, that's a red flag. But if she's got a high notch count, that's also a pretty big red flag. When I say high notch count, that is unacceptable. Where does your mind go? What's like a number?
Me? Like how many people they've had sex with?
Yes.
Or, I don't know. Like it's really not a red flag for me.
Okay. 100 is not a red flag for you?
No, it's a lot, but it's not like.
What if it was 100 in one night, like this girl Lily? What's her name? Lily.
I remember hearing about that, but
isn't she a
Lily star though, or something.
Lily Phillips. What is it? She's still a woman, and she's still like.
Well, I mean, a porn star is a red flag.
No. I'm sorry. Did I say 100? I meant 1,000.
Either way.
1,000 men in a day.
Wasn't there like a doctor that said this is not good for your health if you do this? So like
it's not even if
said Dev is such a lucky man.
Why?
Because I believe Kate's notch count is 1. Uno. Fucking
Like, is that Dev or are we including someone else?
No, yeah, it's Dev, I believe. Yeah. I mean it's. And like I think anything in single digits is low. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't see a girl who
said you are correct, Chris. Only death.
Correcto mundo.
I find it funny that women like yourself, baby mamas, all of a sudden want to get stingy with the puss.
Suitor 2013 said, so no extreme mental illness. Got it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like, I don't think 4 women in a lifetime should culminate to have 1,000 sexual partners. These women, Lily Phillips and what's the other girl's name?
I don't know either of their names, but did they even actually go through with it?
Yes, they're dueling.
I thought
Lily Phillips and Bonnie Blue. Bonnie Blue slams jealous Lily Phillips and claims former friend stole her idea to bed 1,000 men in a day.
Kate then said, but I don't judge anyone for having multiple. I was just lucky enough to find my one at a young age.
But do you judge a woman for having 1,000 in one day? Because I do. I'm sorry, like judgment. I know. Let's not. Dude, thou shalt not judge lest ye be judged first. I understand that, but we're like us humans are pattern recognition machines. You know what I mean? We like our power of judgment is a defense mechanism.
So,
you know what I mean?
What do we think about the thousands of men that are doing this?
I think they're stupid. Like why? Like they're all right. If you want to just break down the like the logistics of something like this, there's no way that these 1,000 men are even orgasming. What are they doing?
I don't know what
they're literally like. I think she was like talking about the logistics of it, and they just have like this room with 2 doors. One's like an entrance, one's an exit.
You just come in, fuck for a few minutes, leave. The next guy comes in. Like
Chris Fullen said,
ridiculous.
2 in one day would be too many.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What,
like
the threesomes aren't okay.
Not a devil's threesome, I don't think. Or what's it called? A devil's triangle.
I thought it was called a
Kate then said, Chris Fullen, I agree. That's a bop.
I love the word bop.
I like the word bop as like a few other definitions, but
like
I don't know what the definition is for this.
Like a musical banger?
Yeah, or like something that's enjoyable. What does she mean by that's a bop here?
I think
like you're bopping them on the head.
Like she calls it. I think when she uses the word bop, she means like a thought, like just something, just like a smutty fun time, girl.
Smutty fun time.
From the
Well, like bop it.
I'm a bitch from the streets. I get the money. I get the money. Bitch, give me what you got.
Kate then
she's
said,
for the streets.
or like bop it the game.
Twist it, pull it.
No, don't pull it.
But yeah, like I mean, I don't want to go out here and vilify women who have had sex with 20 or 25 men in a lifetime. I don't think that's so beyond redemption. But I think a woman's body count should absolutely be like pretty well below her age. So if she's 21, her body count should be.
I would say the same both ways if you're talking about it, but.
Well, there's like scientific evidence that men are able to compartmentalize sex and not let it I do agree. A man who has had sex with 500 women, I do think the same can be said, but it is more like sex has a deeper impression upon women than it does men. It's just how it is. You know what I mean? There's a difference between like the analogy is if you have like a cup. You know, there's a difference between a room full of people putting their hands on your cup and a room full of people dipping their fingers in your cup. Like, one is grosser. Like, to let a bunch of people inside your body is...
Kate then said, I also expect a guy's to be more than a woman's. Clearly I am not a feminist, lol.
No, like a man's notch count should be higher than the woman's.
What is the analogy to the people that are touching the cup?
It's just like less. You're contaminating the cup. You're contaminating the contents of the cup less.
Like, what is that equating to in terms of like sex?
Like putting a bunch of vaginas around a penis, or putting a bunch of penises in a vagina. Like the.
What, you mean like just guys and girls hanging out, or?
No, like having sex. Like you are less corrupted when you penetrate a bunch of holes, but when
Suter 2013 said, there is a direct connection for a man or woman who are more promiscuous directly related to abandonment and attachment issues with their parents.
And it is true, that the highest marital satisfaction rates come from people who are virgins on their wedding day. Those people are the people who stay together most. But I mean, like, they're so rare. You know what I mean? What? Yeah, but like, they're so fucking rare. They have to be less than 1% of the American population. So like, I mean, and there's a lot of factors that contribute to that. But yeah, like, I mean, like, you know, like, because there's a lot of heavily religious, you know, like, it's mostly like heavily religious people who are virgins on their wedding day, so they also happen to pray together every single night. They tend to avoid divorce like the plague, and, you know.
So would we call those happy marriages or not, though? If they're just avoiding...
Yeah, they report high marital satisfaction.
I mean, reporting it. Like, of course, who's going to say they're unhappy? Like,
I mean, people do.
People that are honest. Like, the people that don't want to get divorced are not being honest. I don't think they really, like, are happy in their marriages. I'm sure there's things that go wrong. They're like, no, I got to stay because I don't want to get divorced.
I think Rye told me that... Rye told me that the divorce rate amongst the... Rye told me that the success rate of marriages that involve a woman who has a notch count of 20 or more is, like, the success rate is 20% or less. So, like, once a woman...
Success rate of what?
Of, like, staying married.
Oh. And
once a woman has more than 20 sexual partners, her chances of successfully being satisfied and staying in a marriage is like 20%.
And did he have a source, or is he just saying shit?
I mean, I'm sure he had a source. Like, a lot, like, most people just take these things, you know, and accept them. They don't...
So he probably doesn't have a source.
I mean, he didn't just, like, make it up. It exists. This one's a lot of people are gonna fucking... boo and hiss at this one, but red flag number 12 is single mothers. I mean, do you know what, like, you know what cuckoldry is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
being a cock.
But
we've talked about it extensively before.
But like raising
Ryan McMullen said, boo hiss.
marrying a single mother and caring for the child of another man is cuckoldry.
What?
Do you know
How
what?
Is that cuckoldry then?
All right, so the actual origin of cuckoldry comes from the cuckoo bird, which
cuckoo bird.
The cuckoo bird. So why is it not cuckoldry? Whatever. Cuckoldry. The cuck bird would come into the nest and lay its eggs in the nest of another bird, and that egg would hatch, and the bird would then care for another chick that is not its like offspring. So that is what actual cucking is when you... Yes.
I feel like you keep going to origins of words and like prefixes and suffixes, but it's not like the actual meaning of the word or the current meaning of the word. That's not
the current use of the word is letting some other man have sex with your wife, but
or the other way around. But yes, that's the meaning of cuckoldry. It's not.
But like, it comes from its origin of caring for.
That doesn't make what cuckoldry is now. Like,
but you are cucking if you are raising another man's child.
No,
you are. How are you not?
Because that's not what cuckoldry means. That's what being a cuckoo bird means. It's not what cuckoldry means.
It's what being a cuck is. You are practicing cuckoldry if you are caring for another child that you didn't create. That's what it is.
It's not.
Caring for an egg that you didn't lay is cuckoldry.
Cuckoldry is sexual behavior in which a pair bonded female mates with a male other than her partner.
Is that what Google told you?
Yes, it also says only about 10% of bird species that are socially monogamous are genetically monogamous as well. It's from the American Psychology Association.
All right, on to NBC News. Why cuckolded males stick around to raise kids.
Chris Fullen said, "We learn something new every day."
Rollo Tomasi, the godfather of the red pill, says, if you're raising another man's child and your decision to do so was made for you, you're a cuckold.
Yes, the wise Rollo Tomasi who knows everything.
He knows more than you.
Why does he know more than me?
Because he's examined thousands and thousands of examples of how this leads to
How has he done
dissatisfaction. Because he's got a vast network and worldwide influence.
Okay, so do a lot of people. It doesn't make them experts on what cuckolding is.
I mean, who are the experts that say
I would say
the
the
contrary?
American Psychology Association would probably be the experts on it, yes. And you saying it, he knows more about it than me when I'm not even the one making up the definition.
NBC here says, no man wants to be cuckolded, but the males of many species actually stick around to raise offspring that aren't their own, so long as the effort doesn't cost them much, new research suggests. An analyst of several animal studies found that males whose mates have strayed were on average 12% less likely to care for their offspring than other males. Even so, a high proportion of male animals care for offspring that may not have been theirs. They did so as long as the likelihood of cuckoldry was low and providing care would not harm the male's own future reproductive prospects. The findings were detailed, blah, 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 blah.
This sounds more like them sticking around when they've had sex after and then had a kid. Like, it's not... it doesn't sound like they already had a kid and they're sticking around.
Either way, this is like splitting hairs.
Suter 2013 said, "Unfortunately, we live in a culture where so many men want to make babies but refuse to grow up and be fathers. It's a huge pandemic. The child never asked to have a loser. Absentee father."
See, I do agree to an extent. I think that women should marry before they carry. I think that women are the selective sex for good reason, because if a woman selects a poor choice of a father who has no paternal investment in her kids, misfortune will beget her and the kids. Once a woman gives birth, her value on the open dating market drastically falls. So it is imperative that a woman, reproduce with a man who is going to stick around. So, unfortunately, that's not happening. The number of children being born to single parent households is going through the roof. It's happening more and more. And I don't think that you can put all of the blame on one single gender, but women are breaking up the marriage 80% of the time. So, 8 out of every 10 marriages that are broken are because of, the wife.
I feel like that's disingenuous because they're probably leaving for a reason. It's not like they want to get divorced all the time.
I think the biggest reason for divorce is listed as irreconcilable differences. Yeah. So not abuse, not incarceration, not chemical dependency.
Abuse can be irreconcilable. It doesn't have to be stated.
Yeah, but it's the number one reason why women are leaving marriages is because they grew apart, the spark faded, they fell out of love, and that's just the marriages. There's a huge cohort of women that are, getting pregnant by men that never even proposed to them. You know what I mean? They're just, just having unprotected sex with guys that are, boyfriends or not even that much.
Communication probably falls under that. She's saying it's probably number one or number two.
Kate M. said, communication also is probably number one or number two. Suitor 2013 said, cause of divorce. They can't stand each other equals communication and selfishness, lack of maturity.
Yeah. I mean, I think hypergamy is a evolutionary adaptation. Like, a woman should not be having sex with a guy who would not be a good father. So, if I mean, I know this is callous and harsh, but if, like, a woman is procreating with this absentee father caliber guy, some guy who's going to be, like, a loser and smoke weed on the couch and play video games and not provide for her offspring, like, at the end of the day, she picked him. Like, she has a busted hypergamy modulator, and, she's just having sex, having unprotected sex with these guys.
Are hypergamous, yet so many of them are doing this? That's, like, the opposite of pergamy?
I mean, like, I think women should be hypergamous. Like,
I thought you were under the idea that they are hypergamous.
They, like I said, they should be. Yeah, like
Ryan McMullen said, "Who filed for divorce?"
Who filed? Wait, I didn't get that one. Fuck. I got all these Kevin Samuel sound bites. I don't have that one. Fucking.
He's a mover or shaker. Okay, man, but these men don't settle. They don't settle. They don't get women who are. There are men on YouTube right now saying, I don't know what I'm talking about being high value. But here's one thing that they do agree with me on. They don't take a woman with children. They don't. I've had men who vehemently disagree with me on a lot of things. They don't listen to me, but unanimously, we don't take another man's children because that's not even in their mindset. They don't.
All right.
About couples.
I have a theory that cuckolds are just finding a way to cope and settle with what they can secure. Like, if you take any cuckold, or you take most cuckolds out on the open market, and you give them Andrew Tate's body, Warren Buffett's money, Elon Musk's entrepreneurial innovation, you make the status and the value of any cuckold, and you, like, fucking 100x it, so he's like a 99 Madden player. He's not gonna, like, all of a sudden, he's not gonna cuck. He's just cucking because it is a way for him to, like, infiltrate and get a little bit of, like, female attention, and, like, but yeah, and I...
You don't think any of them are turned on by seeing it?
I think there might be a couple depraved weirdos who, maybe an extreme outline. There might be a couple really fucking weirdos, and it seems to be, like, growing, that number. And I think it's like a mental illness that's caused by, like, the genre of porn that they watch. They probably watch that, like, weird fucking porn. They watch cuck porn, and they turn into this depraved cuckold who, has that kink. But
I mean, isn't the only difference between, like, watching porn and being a cuck is that they're not your wife? It's like you're still watching someone have sex.
Yeah, but there's a mental illness of a guy who would, if he had a perfectly attractive female in front of him, would rather watch somebody else have sex with her than
Ryan McMullen
have the sex himself.
said, I think it comes from insecurities.
Yeah. Like I said, if a man was like a 10 out of 10 man, like a 99 overall my player in Madden, and he's out on the dating market and he has the attention of thousands of women, he's never gonna cuck. They're just doing that and just getting with single mothers because it is the best that they can do. They're insecure about their prospects on the open dating market. Red flag number 13, seeks external validation. So if she's posting a lot of thirst traps on her public Instagram, a lot of bikini photos, like showing her cheeks out in the sand of the Bahamas, you know, with little captions saying like, take me back. Like, it's, you know, and especially if you go into the comment section and there's all her dude friends that are just lying dormant in the friend zone doing the emoji with the heart eyes or the flame emoji, you know, like she's seeking that validation from those guys. You know, if she really only wanted the validation of her partner, she would privately send her partner that photo alone in a direct message, and he would be like the one giving the flame emoji and the heart eyes emoji. But she doesn't want internal validation. She seeks external validation, and that is a red flag. Right?
So, seeking validation from other people?
Yeah. Seeking external validation, meaning she does not validate her own self-worth. Her self-worth needs to be validated externally from the public. She needs to outsource her validation.
I feel like we all need the head. Maybe
I
not
don't need
to
that.
Okay. I feel like you probably do.
What? Like I mean.
Why do you brag about things?
What do I brag about? And what I mean,
many things. You brag about your fantasy team all the time. You brag about sports.
I brag about things, especially on this podcast, or like.
You brag about your stocks.
I brag about things because I'm zealous and I want to attract people to a lifestyle that I think is beneficial to them.
But it's not just like that. You brag about other things that aren't really like sports, for example. Like you want the attention brought on, like you want validation that like your team is doing well, like
my sports team.
Yeah, both sports and fantasy. Like things in general. Like anyone wants like people brag, people have pride. That's just people wanting validation.
Yeah, I want to be validated, I guess. Mm-hmm. Like it would be nicer if it just came naturally.
Sure, obviously.
And with regards to sports teams, like I have, I mean, with my
Rick said, "Go Birds."
Yahoo, Rick. Go fucking Birds. Let's fucking go.
Give him that validation, guys.
With like actual sports teams, I mean, with all pride, I think all pride is fine. There needs to be an inverse though. Like when you fail, when you are defeated, there must be shame. If you don't have shame, you don't get to have pride. So like
one of the 7 deadly sins is always okay.
So long as it is balanced with an equivalent amount of shame. Like like you didn't hear me like, oh, I lost everywhere, I am ashamed of my fantasy season because it ended in failure. If you're in $100,000 worth of debt, I don't think you have the right to be proud. If you
have something to be proud of, sure. Like you can be $100,000 in debt, but like there could be something you did, like maybe you got a promotion at your job and that made you prideful. Like there's reasons to be proud even if you have like bad things happen, like that you still have.
I mean, yeah, like I think if somebody works for something, they have a right to be proud of it. Mm-hmm. If a woman was 300 pounds and now she's 180 with like a rockin' body and she wants to post a few pictures to be like, hey, I'm proud. Let me get some validation. It'll make me feel better. Sure. But if she's posting thirst traps,
that's not a red flag.
I mean, hopefully she is able to validate herself. If not, I'm sorry.
I mean, she probably had so much shame when she was 300 pounds that she wants validation from other people because of that.
I'm just saying, I mean, it's...
Like, what? Alright, what if they were like 300 pounds and they like got down to 290 pounds and they were proud of that and shared that and they get ridiculed instead?
well, then they shouldn't be seeking external validation. They should have the pride within themselves to be proud of it and to keep it moving, not necessarily seeking the validation.
Human creatures are communicative. They need, like, just internalizing everything doesn't, like, keep you happy or make you happy. Like, it's a very fleeting thing. You'll usually need validation from someone else to, like, help boost you up a little bit.
Well, I mean, we could do a little experiment. You can get into a monogamous relationship with a woman and allow her to
experiment in a relationship.
Allow her to seek a bunch of external validation on social media by posting bikini pictures on the beach, showing her tits and her ass.
I think we're going to extremes here.
I mean, that's not that extreme.
No, I'm saying like there's because you're saying like all external validation is bad, right? I'm not saying like going to the worst case scenarios and stuff is not bad, but like seeking external validation is not inherently a bad thing. And
Chris Fullen said, everything in moderation.
Yeah.
Sure. And if she receives external validation, that's not the end of the world. If she's hungry for it, if she's seeking it, it's dangerous. It will lead to her always needing to have that fucking dopamine hit from the heart emoji eyes and the fucking flame emojis and a bunch of...
So, wait, you said working hard, though, that counts as being good, right?
Yeah, like in moderation.
What if they work hard for that body?
Are they a model?
I mean, sure. They
well, then
be whatever. Like they made their appearance to be so attractive that they feel proud about it and want validation about it. Like what? Like
why is your partner? Why is your validation not enough for them?
Well, I mean, if are we only talking about that they can only... So, you said a red flag for having external validation. I didn't think they had to be in a... Yeah, I didn't think they had to already be in a relationship. I thought it was just like they're seeking external validation and they're not in a relationship, and that makes it a red flag. Not that, like, you're in a relationship with already and then it's a red flag.
This is like a prospect to be coming to...
A prospect means, like, it's a red flag before a relationship.
Yeah.
So then why are you saying they need validation from someone that they're in a relationship with when they're not in a relationship?
I mean, hey, if you disagree, that's fine. I wish you all the best. Go get with a girl who does it and let me know how you feel about it.
I'm not going to just seek a person to do an experiment. What?
But I'm just saying, like, maybe you have zero experience with how this affects relationships.
Okay. Do you?
Sure, of course. Like, I've, been with women who flaunted their body and it's, it's worse than it is good. Like, I'd rather a woman who dressed modestly, especially on social media where that stuff is, like, around for all of eternity, and saved her... saved her the exposition of her own body for, private time. On to red flag number 14, a sugar baby. If she is financially compensated for sexual acts, sexual deeds for like a richer provider, I mean there's a thin line. I mean that is prostitution. She's a prostitute. You know what I mean? Like, so, I mean, that's obviously a red flag. Red flag number 15 is a pathological liar. I mean, this is obvious. Like,
yeah. I feel like those last two were just... Obviously, you don't want, like, a prostitute and a liar. Like,
and, I mean, see, pathological liar, I don't draw a distinction between someone who lies to the entire world and someone who lies to themselves. If someone cannot be honest with themselves, they're a fucking liar. They're a bigger liar. They're unable to distinguish truth from reality.
I think that's just not being self-aware, which could just be immaturity. I don't think it's necessarily like... Or... it's not like something that they're purposely doing.
Yeah, but I mean, like... fuck, I don't, Rye, if you're still listening, I don't give a shit who shot John. Like, I don't care how she goes about being a red flag. You know what I mean? Not self-aware, dishonest, like, whether intentional or unintentional, whether it's an accident or on purpose, like, if you have
I'm not saying that it's not a red flag to, like, not be self-aware, but I feel like there's a distinction between those two. Like, just pathologically lying to everyone else and just, like, not being aware of how you're lying to yourself. Like, what do we mean by lying to themselves? Like, saying that they're skinny when they're fat or something? Like,
I think, like a chronic victim mentality is a good... I would like to add an external locus of control. Like, everything... Like, I mean, this goes back to red flag number 3, unhappy and unlucky. Like, everything just happens to them. They're always the victim in all these situations. They're so unaware of self that they don't realize the obstacles that they keep tripping on that keep contributing to their unhappiness and unluckiness, because they're so pathologically dishonest with themselves that they are lying to themselves that they don't have a problem. Maybe have some vices that are getting in the way of them.
I feel like that's something that isn't too hard to fix. Usually, you can have someone like teach that to you, like going to therapy.
Yeah, I mean, like, therapy is not an easy fix. Like, even if you...
I'm not saying it's an easy fix. I'm saying this particular issue, I feel like it's just something you can kind of grow out of. It's not like something that's just plagued on you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I mean, with regard...
Just never, like have anyone in your life telling you that, like, this is wrong, or, like, you're just lying to yourself in this way. Like,
yeah, I mean, honestly, all of these can be fixed. If somebody has a fucking... Even someone who's heavily tatted and pierced, you can remove all your, like, tattoos and piercings.
It's a little more difficult, but...
like, high notch count and single mothers are the only two permanent...
Again, said, does this other guy have any red flags?
What?
Who? Are you talking about me, or are you talking about Cherney?
Me?
I think he's asking, do you have any red flags that are not mentioned here?
I mean, I agreed with some of them. I don't know if there's one I can think of. Oh yeah, I mean, well, I guess some of them were tied into controlling, but, like, someone being controlling. There was one. What was the?
It was extreme jealousy, which, I would say controlling is extreme jealousy.
Yeah, is basically controlling. Regular jealousy is not, like, just being jealous, as long as you're not, like, going out of your way to stop someone from, like, your partner from, like, hanging out with someone or something. Like,
all right, next, and this one I've kind of maybe I'm a fucking red flag for finding this endearing, but Rich Cooper termed it baby's rabies. Like, when she's got baby fever and, like, she really wants to, get pregnant. I mean, do you...
Red flag?
Yeah, I mean, I
feel like that's a green flag if you want a kid.
It could be.
It's a red flag if you don't want a kid.
I suppose, like, really early in a relationship,
sure,
which is when you should be identifying all of these. Like, it could be extreme. It could be extremely problematic. It could turn her into a single mother if she were to have baby's rabies at too early of a point with a man that she was not committed to.
Also, doesn't it kind of just make sense for women to want that if, like, they have an age limit for that? Like,
yeah, and that's why, I mean, like, I would find this more endearing than the opposite of a woman who's, like has it in her mind that she's never going to become a mother. Like, that would actually be like
that's what I want more, but...
All right, so but, like, we could see the justification and why baby's rabies would be if she's got that, you need to either get the vaccine or fucking cut her off.
What? What vaccine?
The baby's rabies vaccine.
What would that be? Just
fucking,
making it up?
Like a hysterectomy or a tubal ligation. Red flag number 17 is she throws hissy fits. well, yeah, like an extreme brat, I would say.
Sure.
Yeah, like that's.
It's funny that he says, "Do I have any red flags?" when I've agreed with like these last 5.
Yeah, like I mean, I think that's like kind of like a no-brainer. I didn't really understand this one. Okay, actually, I do understand it. Red flag number 18 is not in control of the birth. So this is actually.
What does that mean?
It mean like he's really talking about the
Rick
man.
M. said, "Hissy fits? Good luck with that."
This is for like the man. I mean, like a Drake. Like Drake is an example of this. And he even says, he said in the article that I was reading, like when you come into a condom, you flush it down the toilet, because there are women who will, take your discarded prophylactic Jimmy cap and, empty the contents into themselves. So, like, you have to be, like, entirely in control of your own, genetic material.
Is this like for the guys then?
Yeah, but like I guess like if you
how's this 20 red flags of women then?
Well, if you I mean this is another no-brainer, but if you were ever like threw your condom in the trash and you saw her like digging around in the trash to retrieve it, like there should be like fucking alarm bells that are sounding in your head, like this is a fucking.
I feel like no one's doing that in front of them. I guess if you like walk back and see her or something after you leaving the room, I guess. But like, yeah, usually they're gonna do it when you're gone.
But all right. Also, this is extremely common, and this is the reason why a lot of single mothers exist, is because they say they're on birth control, and men just take their word for it and just fucking have unprotected sex with a woman who says she's on birth control. And then
you shouldn't have unprotected sex just because they're on birth control.
A lot of people do, like all the time, or like not even on birth control. A lot of women will be like, "Oh, it's
Ryan McMullen said that's only happening to guys like Drake."
Yeah, that is only happening to guys like Drake. But this, what we're talking about right now, is happening to guys all the time. Like, oh, it's that time of the month. Like, I'm not ovulating. Come inside me. Or, like, oh, I'm on birth control.
Well, I mean,
come inside me.
If they're saying come inside me now, that's probably the red flag. Like, why they ask, like, usually
it happens all.
Wouldn't want that.
It happens all the time. Like,
I'm saying, like, what reason would they have to say that if they're on birth control, or like that just doesn't make sense.
I mean, they like it heightens arousal. Like it feels good.
Woman?
Yeah, like
I thought it was more of like a power move for the guy. I thought women usually don't like that.
I don't think so. I think if you asked like 9 out of 10 women, if
I love how 9 out of 10 is your go-to for everything.
I think they like it. I've been asked. I've been asked many times, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I like being in control. I like being in control of my genetic materials. So I 99
said it feels good for both.
Yeah, and I don't even think it feels good. I'd much rather let my swimmers fly. Like I like them. I like to see them. I like to see them projected onto random various surfaces. Yeah. Red flag number 19 is drama queens. Yeah, like that's pretty obvious once again. And red flag number 20 is addictions. I mean, yeah. Are there any addictions that you would find endearing?
I mean, if they're like addicted to the same interests I am, like
if we have the same addictions,
exactly. Like, I feel like some addictions are more harmful than others. Like video games is an example I like to go to because it's not as harmful as say like drugs or alcohol, but it can be harmful to where it like keeps you away from like your friends or like doing things outside or whatever. But it's something you enjoy, like I would enjoy it more with someone. But if you're addicted to it just by yourself and stuff, that can be a bad thing. If both of you are addicted to the same thing and it's not like harmful to your body like drugs or alcohol and such, then I think that's kind of better, and I would find that more endearing.
All right, so that is the 20 red flags of Rich Cooper. So if you guys are interested in any of his work, Rye, I think you would love him. He's cut from the exact same cloth as Rollo Tomasi. Maybe even like a little, and it's funny because like all these like old school red pill guys, they look the same. Like they're both bald, you know, with the fucking, you know, like
Tomasi's bald?
Yeah.
I thought he had like long hair.
Yes, but I mean, I never see the top of his head, so I suspect that he's probably balding. I mean, he is. They're both like in their 50s or 60s, and maybe Rollo has like a fresh head of hair. But I feel like you'd like people who speaking of this, I just wanted to get into it. This week I've had like a fucking severe pain in my calf, and I looked in the mirror. Yeah, like you never.
Balding.
But you see what year is that?
Oh, I don't know.
Like he's got brown hair there.
Old. He also has a gray.
Ryan McMullen said,
like
"Bald lives matter."
No, I'm not even coming at bald guys. I'm just saying that they look the same. And there's also like Coach Corey Wayne, another, red pill guy. He's bald, and like, I mean, you do you. Like,
What are you saying about your hurting?
Like we're all in a fight against Father Time, and I looked in the mirror today and saw like 2 gray hairs on like the front of my head, and my fucking leg is really hurting really badly, and I don't know why. It's not like I bumped it or did anything to it, but like when I run on the treadmill and when I do jumping jacks in the morning and when I go upstairs and shit, like I'm really feeling it. I'm like I'm feeling old for the first time in my life.
Could have also been from excessive working out.
I don't think so. Like I know, like I'm not like I know where my limits are, and I don't push them too
it's not
hard.
Just limits. If you're not taking rest days, that can happen.
It's possible, but I'm very gentle on my lower body. It's not like I work my lower body hard at all. I work my upper body like very hard, and
You want skinny chicken legs?
I mean, I squat like a shit ton, but like I know that it's not from
Which is it?
working
do you squat a shit ton, or do you not work them out that much?
I squat a shit ton, but I haven't been squatting a shit ton because of the pain.
Probably because you used to squat a shit ton.
So our episode's called "No More Mr. Nice Ninja."
Rick M said, "Skips leg days."
Don't skip leg days. Every day's leg day. No more Mr. Nice Ninja. I've been inside the friend zone, and it's a perilous place. Have you ever been inside the friend zone, Cherney?
Well, I guess kind of with my ex before she was before we dated. Well, not even really. I don't know. I don't think I'm really I've ever really been in the friend zone per se.
Well, I mean, what why'd you stop yourself? Because I was
thinking about it, but no, it was like her. It's kind of a weird situation how it all started, because she broke up with her boyfriend and then wanted a connect, just kind of like a one night stand thing, but I wasn't really interested in that, so I got to know her better, because we originally met through chess club, which her boyfriend at the time was in for a couple times, and we also played Pokemon there. It was like back when X and Y came out. And like we didn't really know each other that well from it because she didn't really play chess and she was only there like a couple times. But like I don't remember how long. It was probably like a month or so after that she hit me up on Facebook Messenger, and so after like we had hung out a few times, I had asked her like if she wanted to be in a relationship, and at first she was like more hesitant, but then eventually like we started a relationship. So it doesn't feel like it really was a friend zone, and it was only like a couple weeks after asking her, really.
Okay. And if you don't mind me asking, who ended the relationship?
Well, I mean, it was kind of on and off a lot, so both of us have at points, but
Who was the last one to end it?
I guess me. I think it was a while ago.
And are you still in communication with her?
Yeah, I mean, I was actually about to hang out with her and Jason before I came on here.
Would you reject the mentioning of being in communication with your ex as the fifth red flag?
Actually, no. I think it is a red flag. I just.
You think it's a red flag of yours?
No, I think it's a red flag for both. I just feel like I'm in more of a place where I have no interest in going back. So I'm like, and we're kind of just on amicable terms now. So it just doesn't really matter to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what I would really do if I got into a relationship with someone else. If I would like cut her off again, or if I would just like be like, cause I don't really hang out with her like that much. It's just kind of like usually with mutual friends, or just like I don't know, like once a month at most. So I don't really see it as that big of a deal.
But what if you were to date a new person and they saw it as a big deal? Would you respect their wishes and cut her off?
It kind of depends on the situation. Like if,
Light of Wisdom said, "Hello everyone." Light of Wisdom said, "Good Faith Podcast, how are you all?"
Yo,
we're good.
This is this is in my subgroups. I came across this person.
Yeah.
They live in Canada, and like Pina was like, Pina. That's a good question. I would assume in the Montreal, Toronto region, but I'd be
assume that
because they said that they started becoming like fascinated and interested in America once they visited New York City. I mean, it's possible that they came all the way from Vancouver to New York City, but
more sense
yeah.
in this area then.
But like Pina was like, yeah, I want to live somewhere like Canada, and we were like, I mean, and we started talking about some of the cons of Canada, and Peter was like, everything I see, Canada's beautiful.
Light of Wisdom said, "I live in just an hour outside Toronto in southwest of Ontario."
Yeah, so I got like a little short conversation with Wisdom about, what are your thoughts on Canada? Is it a place that you want to live? What do you not like about Canada? What do you like about Canada? Blah blah blah. And he was like, I'd be in favor of Canada becoming like absorbed by America. So
Wow.
And
That's a hot take.
Yeah, so I of course brought this evidence to Pina. I was like, hey, this person says that they're in favor of becoming part of America, and they're what is he, a prime minister? Trudeau just stepped down, did what he pulled the Joe Biden, and
He stepped down. When?
like very recently, maybe this week or something.
What?
Yeah.
He was just like talking about the tariffs like a few days ago.
Wisdom, am I mistaken, or did Trudeau in fact step down? But either way, like there's very recently been some like very unsavory documentation of Trudeau abusing his, power there, like going on these cross-country...
Light of Wisdom said, yes, he did step down. Still prime minister until a new leader is found.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pulled a Joe Biden, But, all right, we're like, if you're just joining us, Wisdom, we're gonna talk about how nice guys finish last. I don't want to be a nice guy. To quote our guest Shane, who was on the last episode, he said
didn't you ask me something?
if you've been in the friend zone.
No, but after that, you asked.
If you were with a new partner, if she told you to cut off your ex, would you?
I feel like it depends on the circumstances, how like connected I am with that person, like how she brings it about, like if she's aggressive with it, or if she's like, I feel like jealous about this because you have history and such, and like.
What if she just said that's a gigantic red flag, and I'm not going to take any man who's still.
If she's saying it like that, then probably not. No. You
would not do it.
I would not like stop talking to her. No.
Huh.
Like, to my ex.
So
I would probably stop being in a relationship.
So you would prioritize the feelings of your ex, or you would prioritize
it's not about the feeling of my ex. It's about how she's bringing it about.
What if she just brought it about? She said, "Listen, like, I really like you. I'm digging your vibes, but I'm not going to exclude all of these other guys that are interested in a relationship with me for just you because you're talking to your ex. So, like, we can just stay in this, like, talking stage, getting to know each other more, but, like, until you are out of communication with your ex, we're not going to be in a relationship."
I feel like it still depends more on how connected we already are. Like, if this is just, like, a second date thing, then I wouldn't really care to do that. If it was, like, we'd been dating for a few months now or something, and we feel really connected, and she wants me to do this, then yeah, I probably would.
All right. So, we're going to discuss the beta... Mr. Rich Cooper called this... betatization by 1,000 concessions. So, whether intentional, whether like subconscious, I think a lot of women like to disrupt a man's frame because, I mean, the red pill community calls it shit testing. It's a way. It's a you could call it hypergamy. You could call it a tactic that women employ to test a man's boundaries. So that's why when I talk about frame, it's really about frame is really just being in control of your own life and having boundaries that are explicitly defined, right? So when we talk about 1,000 concessions, it's not like, oh yeah, I'm still talking with my ex. I mean, that might be one concession, right? It might be like something a lot more seemingly innocuous, like, hey, could you, like, let's say she moves into your house and she's like, hey, could you make sure that you categorize all of your books alphabetically? And that might not be such a harmful gesture, it actually might make your...
You're saying it's a test?
It might be like a subconscious test. What it is it's a concession that you are making of your life to suit her.
How's that a concession though? Wouldn't that help you?
It might. These 1,000 concessions that you make might help yourself, but at the end of the day, she will subconsciously lose respect for you because you are so easily influenced.
Your books?
Sure.
That sounds ridiculous.
it might be ridiculous, but like women are not arithmetic. Like it's very difficult to.
But you're saying they lose respect for you for doing that kind of concession.
If it adds up enough, yes.
Well, sure, if you're doing like a bunch of other things, like I feel like there's a line. If there's a line that you're not willing to cross, then they'll respect you, and if you still cross it, then they might lose respect for you. I don't feel like alphabetizing your books would be one of them.
I mean, it's you can make 999 concessions. Then you can see where that line is and where her respect for you is subconsciously lost.
I don't think it's really the number of concessions. I think it's the type of concessions.
It's like they're all like a concession is a concession.
No,
you know, it might just be. I
don't think like little ones like alphabetizing your books is like really a concession.
All right, how about we make it a bigger deal?
Okay.
It behooves you to get a vasectomy because you're able to have free sex with her without worry of any further impregnation. Is that a word?
Impregnation.
Yeah. You can, so you'll make this concession. You'll get a vasectomy. It's not going to be a big deal. What's next? Maybe, you're going to stop eating red meat because the cows are a living, breathing creature, and it's really not good for your blood pressure. It's not good for your salt levels. It's not good for your heart health. What's another one?
To get meat in your diet, though.
When you start like doing your laundry, she's asking you, please, could you it would make my life a lot easier if you separated the laundry into blacks, whites, and colors. Like, can you please do that? Here, baby, I got you these 3 laundry baskets.
Why did you say colors instead of colors?
Because colored clothes, like.
You would say colors, though.
Whatever, colors. But I mean, you want to make these concessions, you're going to be beta-tized in her eyes.
I feel like in those circumstances, like those are bigger ones that are like more of like you enjoy red meat. You like may want to have a kid like someday. Like it's not like if those things were meaningless to you, then they're not really concessions. But if they do, then I feel like they would probably lose more respect for you in that way. I
think it's a slippery slope. You start bending your knee to this woman because it
depends what it is.
If you got your shit together, then nobody is going to come into your frame and tell you how you could improve it. Your shit should be running 100%. If you're sure, if you have your shit, if you don't have
their shit together, if their books are not alphabetized.
I mean, it could be anything though. It could be a time suck to separate all your laundry. For if you run your laundry on cold.
Ryan McMullen said, "If it's meaningless to you and you're doing it anyway, then you're fitting her frame."
Yep, exactly. I mean. The meaningful part about this is that your frame is your frame. It doesn't matter if, she would rather paint your walls pink because that's more easy on the eyes. It makes her more aroused at times. It doesn't matter if she doesn't like the hardwood. Instead, she would rather carpet. It doesn't matter if none of your pictures have frames. She would really rather you go out and get frames, or even she can go out and get the frames, because it looks more professional when your paintings have frames or whatever. It could be like I said, it could be 1,000 different concessions that she's asking you to make on your frame. You're not gonna do it if you're a high value man with his shit with his shit under control. I
feel like that would be you wanted it that way. I feel like if it's usually you're not gonna care about something like that. I mean, if you have your shit together, then you wanted it that way. It's not like
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like
but that makes it meaningful. It's not about it being meaningless. Those things are all meaningful to you.
Well, it's even. I mean, like I said, if I wanted my books alphabetized, they'd be alphabetized. You know, I have them unalphabetized because the time that it would take out of my day to alphabetize the books would prevent me from doing something else that could be potentially productive. So therefore,
productive. Like,
it's
you
not.
probably don't really care about any of these books because you don't read any of them.
I don't, but I'm just saying, if some girl wanted to.
But also that means it's meaningful because it's taking time out of your day. You're doing the time to do that. That's a concession because you don't want to do it.
I'm just saying. I mean, hey, this is similar to the red flag things. If you have no objections to making 1,000 concessions, go for it. I'm not going to stop you. Like, you know, you can do whatever you want to do. And a lot of the times, a lot of these married men, they learn the hard way. You know, men typically get red pilled one way or another. It's just whether it happens after a nasty divorce where he loses access to his children and he gets half of his net worth drained by a woman, or he preemptively becomes red-pilled and is in control of his frame and doesn't allow these concessions that add up to him being...
So you think I'm ever going to be red-pilled?
I think if you do what everybody else does, what happens to everybody else will happen to you. So if
What everyone else does? What do you mean?
What everyone else does is they rush into a marriage with a modern woman
I'm not
who has
rushing into a marriage.
all right, get into a marriage with a woman who has, you know, a master's degree and a double-digit body count. You don't have a prenup to protect you. You make 1,000 concessions. You're a nice guy to her. You know, thinking that the respect and adoration that you share for her will be reciprocated.
So what if that's like not what I'm doing? Like half of those things I don't even agree with. Well, anyway.
Then, like that
doesn't make me red pilled. Like you can agree with some things, but like,
yeah, like you
the
could
whole red pill idea is that like all these extremes are happening, and basically you have to hate women for them to like you.
That was never mentioned.
That is definitely what happens in the red pill community.
Well, that's a misconception.
No, it isn't. You literally said last week we need to knock women down.
Yeah, a peg. I don't hate them.
You want to build men up and knock women down. Why do you feel that way?
Because there's an imbalance in the dating market.
In the dating market, okay.
Okay, does that mean that you admit that it is true?
No, I don't, like, what, that there's an imbalance? Or,
yes.
Like, in what way? That, like, women can have whoever they want and men can't?
Yeah.
Isn't that what you said they should be doing? That they should be more selective with their choices?
Sure.
So Kelly Bullock said, like "Hi guys."
Hi.
That seems fair.
I mean, if you think
we need to knock them down more.
If you think that it's fair that you are the disadvantaged gender in the dating market,
do you think it's fair that women are disadvantaged in sports? Like
it's not the dating market. I'm not saying that we need to not
disadvantaged in many ways.
I'm not sitting here saying that women need to be knocked down a peg as athletes. I'm saying they need to be knocked down a peg in the dating market where they have.
They're not advantaged in sports. Like why? It would make no sense to knock them down in that.
Hey, you're allowed to disagree. Mm-hmm. Just like 55% of
Ryan McMullen
married couples are allowed.
Sports is due to biology.
Yeah.
Ryan McMullen said, which none of us know control of.
You're allowed to disagree. Just like all of the men who had their hearts broken, had their fucking net worth torn in half, were able to disagree. I mean, Jeff Bezos was able to...
I can still disagree while also wanting a prenup and also wanting to wait a while to get married. Like, these aren't, like...
But why would you want a prenup? Don't you, like, respect and trust women not to take advantage of you?
Well, I want a prenup so that we have our separate... Well, yeah, I agree with having separate finances. Like, what do you mean?
Do women have an advantage in custody court?
Sure.
Does alimony 90% of the time go from men to women?
Probably. I don't know the stats on it. But...
Yes, it does. Does child support overwhelmingly go from men to women?
Yeah.
And is all of this evidence of an imbalance in...
Wouldn't it also be an imbalance in the workforce?
Yes, but like I'm saying right now, we're talking about the sex and dating market. I'm not sitting here advocating for paying women less in the workforce. I'm talking specifically.
Paid less.
My mission statement is to knock women down a peg with regards to sexual dynamics and dating.
So should we knock men down in the workforce?
Ryan McMullen said, who filed for divorce.
Who
Rick
filed for
M.
divorce?
said, 2 divorces here. Court is not fair.
Yeah, but like, I'm not sitting here advocating for men fucking making more than women. I think there's a lot of fucking reasons why these things happen.
You can think
Kelly Bullock said, whoever makes more money or works more may have to pay more. But we know dudes that got alimony.
Women, rich and powerful women, look at the tabloids, look at the fucking newspapers. Rich and powerful women are too smart. For the most part, speaking in generality, sorry, when I'm talking about a population of 168 million people, I can't just like, or what is our population,
like
300 million? Sorry, when I'm talking about a population of 300 million people, I can't get into the weeds about specific,
334.9.
Yeah, specific people. Overwhelmingly, rich and powerful women, when they get into marriage, they fucking are smart enough to protect their money. Mackenzie Bezos, who just got, $200 million or $500 million, probably much more than that from Bezos. So, she turned around, got married to another dude, and that marriage has already deteriorated. But that dude doesn't get a dime from Mackenzie Bezos because she signed a prenup.
But women in general are more nurturing and well-rounded with care of people or children.
That's not true. Single mother households have statistically the worst outcomes for the children. More drug use, more obesity, more incarceration, more failure in school. I mean, like, the way that women nurture their children versus the way that father nurture their children, if you're just talking about single parent households, the mothers have horrible outcomes.
It's an epic fail to not have the who filed for divorce soundbite.
I'll get it, all right? I'll get it.
So why aren't men smart enough to do the same thing that women are?
I'm trying to fucking inform them, trying to tell them that they should. I don't know, because fools rush in. Like, fools think that, oh, that's the other 320 million Americans, but it's not going to happen to me. No, our relationship's special. Like, we're going to last forever. Nothing bad's going to happen to us. We're special. But those other 170 million people, yeah, like, they had imperfect marriages, so that's why that's why they needed to sign a prenup. I don't know. But I'm not here telling you to fucking mistreat your wife. I'm not here telling people to do anything that I think is harmful to their happiness and their satisfaction. I'm just trying to protect people so they can get paid.
Said, when she leave yo ass she gon' leave with half. Kelly Bullock said, Chris, that is why you want your woman to make as much money as you so you don't have to pay alimony or child support, lol.
Bruh, I'm signing like a blood oath with my wife. Like, you divorce, you get nothing. I need that soundbite. I need the Willy Wonka. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. 80% of the time, women initiate divorce. Why would you? Would you jump out of an airplane if there was an 80% chance of failure that your parachute would open? Would you get on an airplane if there was an 80% chance that it wouldn't land on the ground safely? Like, there's not an instrument in human civilization with as high of a failure rate as marriage, yet everybody believes that it is the right thing to do. And I'm not saying you shouldn't get married. I'm just saying that you should protect yourself if you are going to make such a
Kelly
drastic
Bullock said,
decision.
DC guys are assholes. Kelly Bullock said, oops, did I say that?
What did she say?
Because guys are assholes.
Oh,
It's the typical woman tactic of dodging all accountability. That's why divorce is so high, because guys are assholes, not because women are commitment phobes. Not because.
Why are you assuming one way and not the other? It can be both. It can be a mixture. Like, you seem to be always attacking women on this, but it's never the man's fault.
I'm not saying it's never the man's fault.
That's how you seem to be wording.
I mean, 20% of the time it's the man's fault. 20%
no,
of
it's not just on stats of divorces. I'm saying, like, just because you file for divorce doesn't mean that the person filing is the one at fault all the time. Usually, they're filing because of something that happened, usually from the other side. Like, I don't know why filing is the part that's being criticized more than anything else, and they're the ones that are the problem for filing.
I mean, what usually happens is they fall out of love. Okay, fine. This is why I think there should be a fucking delineation of two types of unions. There should be a holy union that is only fucking broken off if there is infidelity, if there is fucking incarceration, if there is physical abuse, and there should be the other modern partnership where you can have your fucking 55% divorce rate if you fall out of love, if there's irreconcilable differences. I'm sick and tired of the holy union under God being disrupted by fucking modern feminists and, you know, the spark being
Kelly Bullock
faded.
said, men don't file cause it's cheaper to keep her.
So
why is it cheaper to keep her? Why? What are you saying? Are you saying that in divorce women rake men over the coals? Is that what you're saying? Because if women didn't overwhelmingly rake their ex-husbands over the coals and take him for half of his net worth, then it would not be cheaper to keep her. It would be cheaper to follow your heart. But
Kelly Bullock said, according to your statistics.
They're not my statistics. They're the statistics of divorce.
So if you had this split of marriages, which one do you think you would fall under?
I want to get a holy union between a man and a woman.
When you're like non-denominational and don't really like go to church or anything.
I do go to church.
You go to church for your job. You don't
I watch church every Sunday. Like,
you watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does that mean that I'm?
I don't feel like you're really that devout. No.
How devout can I be? Like, should I fucking go there every single week in person? I mean,
yeah.
Right now it is. Right now it's football season, and I've been working the past.
So football is above God. I got it.
I've been working the past 4 Sundays. Every home game, I have a job on Sundays.
If you were devout to God, you wouldn't be working on the Holy Sunday.
on the Sabbath.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. I mean, it's like, it's a fucking, how devout are you? Oh, we can really get into
said, you don't need church to be spiritual. Ryan McMullen said, facts journey.
Shut up, Ryan. Right.
Kelly Bullock said, half of the man's nest egg can also be supported by the woman, like me, that encourage them to invest and both make a decision that they want one parent to not work 40 HRS a week for kids' sale.
For kids' sale? What?
Sake.
Oh.
It's just, it's convenient. It's convenient, I mean, whatever. Hey, if you guys disagree so much, Continue down
Kelly
your path
Bullock
of peril.
Said, sake. Ryan McMullen said, LOL kids sale. Funny typo.
I got these kids for sale. Let me see. These are some good, strong kids.
Like
good, strong kids. No, you guys disagree with me so much? Go fucking continue at your own peril. Let me know next time you're on the altar. Let me know next time you're standing in front of the divorce judge and how favorable he is to you. If you have a fucking...
I disagree with getting a prenup.
I mean, this isn't your This isn't your grandma and grandpa's marriage industry anymore. Like fucking, if you guys are so protective about the sanctity of marriage,
I don't disagree. I have been there.
there's no man on earth who looks back at divorce and is like, that was a good time. It was, even though it ended in a fiery blaze of death and destruction. Like,
you don't think there were any good memories they had?
I'm sure, but like,
I don't think they think about those good memories at all ever.
But there are women like Mackenzie Bezos who fucking make billions on divorce. I mean, if you look at the Forbes 500 list, the number one cause for women to be in that list is death and divorce.
What? Death?
Yeah, their father dies.
Okay.
Like the majority of the women on the Forbes 500 list got their wealth from men.
Is that true?
Yes.
I feel like that's not true.
Well, I mean, you could feel like it is not true, but it is true.
Do you have a source?
Yeah, like look at the Forbes 500 list, and it tells you the way that they got all of their money, every person on it. All right, well, so who's to blame for the sex recession? Is it men or women? Because you think I attack women unfairly.
You think there's a sex recession?
There is.
You think there is. I don't even know, like... I guess the birth rate.
Kelly Bullock said,
high.
if you treat each other good enough, very good, you won't need to worry about that.
Oh, okay. So 50% of the people are not treating each other good enough. I got it. You don't think that there's a structural flaw in modern marriage? It's that people are not treating each other good enough, right?
Well, in one way or another, someone's not treating the other well if they're getting divorced. Like, whether it's the one filing or the one, like, not filing, someone's not treating the other right in some way.
It's just it needs an overhaul, is what I'm suggesting.
Okay.
Needs an entire a wholesale structural overhaul so that there can be, so that the chinks in the armor of modern marriage can be solidified, because right now
Kelly Bullock
it is
said,
failed.
yes, or they grow out of each other.
Oh yeah, that's the number one cause, is growing apart from each other. I mean, it's fine. Hey, and this is why I'm suggesting two different types of unions. If you want to, if that spark fades, if you grow apart from each other, if you fall out of love, that's fine for a modern union. Or if you believe in God, if you believe in a holy union between man and wife, then you will make an oath that the only thing that will part you two is death. And then I think you'll see those marriages have a much higher success rate. But right now, those marriages are lumped in together with modern marriages where it's like, oh, we're just going to go 50-50. Like, oh, well, you have this legal partnership. I mean, what is there to protect you from splitting? Yeah, I mean, like companies and partnerships and firms split all the time. So why would you think that if there's not some higher power keeping you together, why would you not fail? You know what I mean? Am I sounding like a crazy person?
I wasn't listening. I'm looking at the Forbes list.
Who have you come to a woman yet?
It's hard. Well, Alice Walton's one. That's an inheritance.
Yes.
50 to 75% of Fortune 500 women CEOs have been promoted from within their company. Like there's a list of CEO women in the Fortune 500 in the Fortune 500.
Suitor 2013 said, basically call marriages civil unions versus marriage based on the belief systems behind the need.
Yeah, I'm not saying that like, and like I'm not even saying that like two men or two women cannot get partnered or become united. I'm just saying that should be a different union than a marriage. Like a marriage should be a union, a whole union between man and wife under God, and a partnership could be anything. A partnership could just be two people with a 50-50 partnership. They're able to share, tax advantages. They're able to, do whatever, and they can split if there's irreconcilable differences. They can split if they fall out of love or whatever. But a holy union between man and wife can only be ended from death. So it's like it's got a little bit of it's I don't know. You people would think a lot more carefully before getting married, I would think. Have you found a woman on the Forbes 500 list who earned her fortune?
Well, yeah, all the CEOs.
What number are they?
I mean, would it I can't find the one that separates which ones are CEOs and which ones aren't. I just can find like a list of CEOs, and then I can't really find I assume Alice Walton is one that inherited, but
yes.
Then you got Diane Hendricks, you got Judy Love and family.
Does it rank them based on wealth?
This is the Forbes richest self-made women. Because some of these names I can't tell which one's a woman and which one's a man, and it doesn't specify anything.
What are some of their names? If they're a popular company, I'd be able to tell you. But
they're not saying the name of the company all the time.
Yeah, but
the name of the people.
If they're popular,
the richest ones in the world, it goes Bernard Arnault and family, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Larry Ellison, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Steve Ballmer, Mukesh Ambani, Larry Page, Sergey Brin, Michael Bloomberg, Amancio Ortega, Carlos Slim Halou and family, Francois Betancourt Myers and family, Michael Dell, Gautam Adani, Jim Walton and family, Rob Walton and family, Jensen Huang.
That's the
Walton.
NVIDIA founder.
Yeah, it'll say technology, fashion and retail. David Thompson and family, Julia Koch and family, Zhang Zhanshan.
Coke. That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, that's Coke Industries. What's his name? It's the one that there's a whole bunch of conspiracy theories about the guy and him controlling the world.
Okay, like a Bilderberg.
A what?
Like the Illuminati.
Probably something like that.
Okay, yeah. So they're all about weather control and that shit.
Mean, that's not what his company is about. It's just there's a lot of people that think they control the world. Mm-hmm. That this person controls the world.
Well, I typed in that name, and the first thing that came up was Okay, so they're oil refineries.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Is it Charles Koch? I think it is Charles Koch.
Yeah. Fred Koch?
I don't know.
Charles Koch.
I think Charles is he's the CEO and the founder or something. But they say he runs the world basically.
All right. So we just got done the holidays, and it's time to air out our grievances. Specifically for you to air out your grievances. Do you have any?
Well, with what?
With me.
With you?
Yeah.
I mean, sure.
What are they? Air them out.
Okay, you could clean up after your cat more. You can do the dishes more. You can take out the trash more. Like chores in general. This place is messy.
Okay.
Like cleaning the toilets. Like I don't think you've ever done that.
Okay. All right. Well, specifically, do you think I'm a misogynist?
Kinda, yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes.
What is misogyny? It means hate women, right?
Yeah. It's basically, I don't think there's a...
Well,
that's about it.
that is what it means, is that you hate women, right?
Dislike of, contempt for, or ingrained prejudice against women.
Okay. Well, I don't dislike women.
I mean, yeah, you're sexually attracted to them, but I don't think you, like...
Kelly Bullock said, LOL Rumi.
Contempt? What does contempt mean? I think they're beneath me?
Kelly Bullock said, hope you don't hate your mom.
I don't think
No,
that's
I
what
don't.
contempt specifically means. It's like it's an intense disapproval or disdain for someone or something. Basically, you don't like them.
I mean, I'll be 100% upfront. I have a dislike and I have and I have contempt for feminists and I have contempt for unfeminine women, but not all women at all. Like a certain type of women that I think are...
But you generalize it to basically being all women. And you want to knock all women down for a reason.
I mean,
Or is it not all women now?
it's not all women.
No?
Like,
What's your mission statement?
I think it says to knock some women down. It says...
It is some?
It says to blah 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 promoting average men. So I'm not even trying to promote the fucking billionaires and the millionaires and shit. Just to promote average men and to knock some women down a peg.
Okay.
Yeah. So
sure, that's fine.
like a person like Kate or my sister or my mom or fucking Katie or George.
Kate?
Who?
Who's Kate?
Devin's wife,
Oh.
Kate Martin, is
You
one
want
of
to
our.
knock Kate now?
No, I don't. These are women who I don't want to knock down
You want to
as
knock down Katie?
a single peg. No, I don't want to knock like any of these married women who are, I don't want to knock Odessa down. I don't want to knock Laurie down. I don't want to knock, I don't want to knock any woman who's. I don't want to knock Augustina down.
Do with like Odessa and. I
don't want
to knock them down.
No, I don't want to knock. I don't want to knock any of the spouses of my best friends down a peg. Like I want them to prosper.
Okay.
Some of the women that have like I said on here, some of the women who have inflated egos, I want to deflate their overly inflated egos so they maybe come back down to earth and they don't have these stratospheric expectations of how things ought to be.
So why do you want to deflate these overinflated egos? Like I feel like I wouldn't really care. I would just like not pay them any mind. Like they don't matter.
I mean, they do.
And I feel like
they do
also,
when enough of them come together and start to mold society and their image. They definitely do matter.
I feel like they also. Like, if they're like that, they're not really going to change their mind, especially from something you say.
Maybe not right now. Yeah, like, I'm just a guy with...
Well, even if you're big...
Kelly Fuller said, how many men have overinflated egos?
I don't think...
I'm not here to fucking... I'm not here to promote any fucking... like I said, I'm not here to promote any dude with some sky-high ego, like fucking Andrew Tate... who's...
You love him.
I like him.
You bring him up as like masculine.
I've stopped loving him so much.
What made you stop?
I watched a documentary on him, and there's like some stuff that makes like he does. He's
like when he says he likes 16, 15-year-old girls.
He doesn't say
he
that.
Has said that.
When?
I can pull them up for you. I'm not gonna play them on here.
All right. Well, I'm gonna excuse that as conjecture at the moment. That's not even a reason why I dislike him. I don't even dislike him. Honestly, there's very few people that I do dislike in this world. But let's just say that I don't think he's as honorable as somebody like Kevin Samuel or Warren Buffett. Or why?
Yeah. Why do you not think he's as honorable?
I think he's got a lot of anger. I think like Kevin Samuel and...
I think Kevin Samuel has anger.
Not really. No.
One of your sound bites is him yelling at him. Like, a couple of them are.
That's none of your business. I told you I was fat.
Oh, okay. We don't play that shit on my channel. You get your big fat ass on somewhere. I don't deal with you big sassy ass broads. So you go ahead and go on back over and get your 2-piece or 3-piece or whatever you got coming from, Chick-fil-A or Popeyes. Yeah, carry your ass on over. You think she talked to Brad that way? Hell no.
And if he is not angry, why does he yell at why did he yell at his fans like, oh, you better like or subscribe or I'm shutting this shit down? Like,
he just doesn't take any shit because if you'll note the name of the episode, no more Mr. Nice Ninja. Like, he ain't nice. He's kind though. Like he's telling people the shit that they need to hear. But their overly inflated ego prevents them from absorbing the truth. And because we live in this candy coated society that it wants to tiptoe around everybody's feelings to a point of dishonesty. But like it's very rare that you'll see somebody like Dr. Now, like Kevin Samuels, like these people who are in the trenches with the people that they're trying to help, and they're trying to gracefully say what it is that people need to hear, but their ego is the biggest fucking shield from the truth, So
how do you break through that?
You classily and kindly just be honest. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of, especially women are like extremely sensitive at hearing, ma'am, you're obese. Like, you're not thick, you're obese, or, you can't do this, you can't do that. Like a lot of people just can't handle the truth. They're just sucking up candy-coated lies all their life. So that's why
women who are obese generally know that they're obese.
Well, there's a difference between knowing that you're...
and doing something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like the point you're making is like you need to tell them because they don't know. Like, what is telling them that they're obese do?
You can never rectify a problem if you don't realize a problem exists.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think they know.
Well, not when...
I think they're not doing what they can to help, like, prevent it or like to fix it. Like
a lot of... All right, like a lot of the time, these women that call up on... that used to call up on his show, they weren't like, oh, Kevin, I know my problem. My problem is X, Y, and Z. Like, this is the reason why I can't find a good man. Like, they would, like, he would call, like, they would call him up and be like, why can't I find a good man? And he would say, reason A, B, and C. That's why you can't find a good man. And they would, like, they would resist. They would cope. They would deflect and all that stuff. And if he spent enough time on a call with them, he would right size their perception of themselves, and they would, a lot of the time stop going after these high value men that they could not hope to secure.
Okay, that's fine. I just don't think that's like a lot of women. I think most women who are obese know they're obese, just not doing anything about it.
It's not just the obese women. Like, there's also the women that have a litter of kids wondering why they can't find a high value man. He'd be like
he's a mover or shaker. Okay, man, but these men don't settle. They don't settle. They don't get women who are They don't. There are men on YouTube right now saying, I don't know what I'm talking about being high value. But here's one thing that they do agree with me on. They don't take a woman with children. They don't.
So, yeah, I mean, you could have your grievances with Kevin Samuel if you want. You know, I'd like to hear, you know, who you think is a more...
Ryan McMullen said, they vehemently disagree with me.
You think Kevin Samuel's influential for these women?
Yes.
Like, all I've heard from women is that they hate Kevin Samuel.
Who... I think if you asked 100 people on the street, men or women, I think you'd be hard-pressed to find 6 of them who know who Kevin Samuel is.
Okay,
so I don't think you know more than 4 women in the entire world who know who Kevin Samuels is.
Okay, I know people that knew who Kevin Samuel and told me who Kevin Samuel is before I even knew you.
And how many?
I don't know, like a few.
Like 3? Like you knew 3 people who knew who Kevin Samuels was?
Yeah, when I was at college at Pittsburgh, my friends, one of which I brought on the show, and then there's a couple others, like, but I don't get what the point is though.
Maybe the point is because we even had this conversation with Toya about how...
Yeah, she's the one who knows who Kevin Samuel is and told me about him, and her and her group of friends that were taught, like, they say, mainly in the black community, I guess it is, 'cause that's who they were saying is just like all black women hate him, basically.
Yeah, and maybe the ones who had this overinflated ego who couldn't sift through the meanness and get to the kindness. I mean, the black women who met their husbands through him because they changed their mentality don't hate him.
There's women that have met their husbands through him?
Yes.
How?
Because they were moving in a certain dishonorable train wreck of a way, and then they talked to him and he told them, here's how, like, here, if you want this Prince Charming, this is how you're going to have to start behaving. And then they changed their behavior and then met a husband. Do you think that I'm a racist?
Not really.
Okay.
No.
Do you think I'm a classist?
What, like, you hate poor people or something? Like, is that a term? I feel like
there's classism, so like
classism? What would that be though?
Classism is class discrimination, also known as classism, is prejudice or discrimination on the basis of social class. It includes individual attitudes, behaviors, systems of policies and practices that are set up to...
So I guess like hating rich people or like...
Or poor people, yeah.
Like,
do you believe that I'm a classist?
I feel like we don't really talk about classes much. Do you hate rich people? Do you? I feel like I would probably be classist.
I mean, I'm on here. These are grievances that I reject that I am. So I'm not bringing up any like discrimination that I think that I am. But I mean, I'm allowing you to accuse me of being a classist if you think I am one.
I don't think so. I don't think we've really talked about classes much.
Okay, do you think I'm a homophobe?
No.
Okay. Do you think I'm a transphobe?
Maybe. Probably.
What is transphobia? Is like because
it'd be like hating trans people.
Ryan
McMullen said, "You always say eat the rich."
I don't say eat the rich. I did try. I tried to manufacture. I tried to manufacture an AOC T-shirt that said "Eat the Rich," but I don't actually believe in that. I just thought it would sell.
Love AOC.
Yeah, like exactly. Like I just thought it would sell merchandise. I don't actually believe in eating the rich.
So you're a sellout. You want to be the rich.
Transphobia consists of negative attitudes, feelings, or actions towards transgender people or transness in general. Transphobia can include fear, aversion, hatred, violence, or anger towards people who do not conform to social gender roles.
Yeah, I think you'd probably fit in that.
See, not hatred. I don't hate anybody.
Not all of it.
I'm not violent. I'm not angry. And I'm not afraid.
You're angry.
I'm not angry.
Why do you bring them up so much?
I mean, it's like front page news a lot of the time.
Not really. It's mainly just right media outlets that are bringing it up.
Yeah, but even non-biased media outlets bring it up. They
bring it up in response to like right media always doing it. It's not like they're making it head news. Like it's just already been that way. Well, I mean, it's like a counter article.
Even some of the most staunch liberals are against trans involvement in certain realms, like bathrooms and locker rooms and athletics and stuff like that.
Okay, and there's a lot that aren't against it, but what is...
So, do you think that it is all
Ryan
transphobia?
McMullen said, Journey, you're saying the left doesn't talk about this issue?
Yeah,
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they are mostly responding to the right who want to bring it up all the time. The left doesn't really care that much.
There's an actual term for trans exclusionary feminists. I forget what it... TERFs.
Yeah, what J.K. Rowling is, right?
Yeah, so what is a TERF? A TERF is an acronym for a trans exclusionary radical feminist. So that's an example of a liberal who has transphobia.
Usually.
Well, a feminist is inherently liberal.
It's not. It's for women's rights, but it doesn't... I don't think J.K. Rowling's liberal. Is she liberal?
I don't know if she's a feminist.
She is. She's like one of the headpieces of TERFs. What do you mean? She's a feminist who hates trans people and promotes women by sex. She believes trans people are working against feminists.
Rowling has stated that her politics are left-leaning, liberal, and fiercely anti-authoritarian. Pointing to her literary works to demonstrate this, she states that she is not an ideologue, distrusting ideologies, but is an idealist, believing in the human capacity. So she's a liberal.
Is that left in ours or left in England? Because it's kind of different.
I mean, it's different, but it's very similar.
What? It's not.
The left is the left and the right is the right.
It's not. It's different in different countries.
Not really.
Yes, it is.
I mean, liberal and conservative is overarching beyond, country boundaries.
They have their own, there's the Labor Party, there's their own definitions, and the left on one country is more center or right than in another country. It is different.
Well, the two between England, America, and Canada were basically the same.
I don't think England is. I think they're more the opposite. Not completely, but they're more inverse than relation to us. They have different issues too.
But either way,
I'm pretty sure they have abortion is basically just being fine there. They don't really care about it as much as America does.
Either way, I reject being called a transphobe. I mean, first of all, even in the most outrageous sense, athletics, I am not a transphobe. I say fucking let the trans play in whatever league they can compete in, and they're not going to compete in the men's league. So they can compete in the women's league. Let them fucking play.
When do you ever say that?
That's what I always say.
You're against them doing that.
I think women are inferior athletes, and I'm all for athletics being as competitive as they can be by introducing trans males into female athletics. It's going to make it more competitive, more athletic. So I'm all for it. Like,
you've never said this.
I do believe that.
Okay,
so.
maybe you've changed your view, but I remember you specifically saying men should, like, trans men should not be, or like they should not be going into women's sports. Is generally what you've been saying.
Well, I mean, if they want to, fucking, they're not gonna.
Didn't you, like, make a big uproar when the boxer that you thought was a trans woman was, like, in a woman's sport? Like,
No, I didn't, like...
And Leah Thomas and, like, other... You definitely have. You definitely wanted them to not be in sports.
I mean,
women's sports.
I was not as vocal as our...
Okay.
As our extremely liberal friend was about it, so...
Huh? Oh, you're talking about Peanut?
Yes. I'm trying, I try and not drop names, throw people under the bus in case.
You brought up Toya. What do you mean?
All right. Well, I mean, yeah, like she was on this show. She voiced
so
her.
Was Peanut.
That's true. Yeah.
he was on here twice.
But I try not, like, especially when I know that
okay,
certain.
Well then don't do it with my friends.
Yeah, but I didn't say anything that would alienate Toya from her spouse. Like maybe certain xeno.
I didn't say anything either.
Well, all right. Do you think I'm a xenophobe?
I mean, with regards to immigration in Mexico, I feel like on that line, but I don't think you're specifically xenophobic.
I'm not even against any. I'm not against any culture of any country coming to America the legal way.
Except the legal way is near impossible.
I mean, it's not near impossible. Millions of people do it legally a year.
Pretty much every American to.
Wait, to what?
To be able to become an American citizen if they weren't just born here.
Well, that's because we have a country of 340 million people. Like
What does that have to do with it?
Like we're a very crowded nation already.
Okay, then why do you want the birth rates to raise?
I mean, because I'm against...
Just make it more crowded.
I'm just against murder. I'm not even necessarily for the birth rates rising.
You were saying we're in a declining era and we need to, like, raise our birth rates. You were, like, having fear of our army being weak because of, like, these factors. Like,
I'm more afraid of our army being incompetent because of obesity, not being, like, undermanned. Like, we have enough people to field an army, but we don't have the best and the brightest who are joining our military.
Why were you concerned about our declining birth rate then?
I mean, in my lifetime, it's not going to be a fucking problem. In our, if I am fortunate enough to have grandchildren, they might, like, being a 40-year-old virgin for our grandsons is a very real possibility.
So it's just about sex. It's not about the birth.
Yeah, I don't talk about the birth recession. I talk about the sex recession.
No, you've talked about our declining birth rates too. I guess you're saying it in regards to the sex.
Yeah, it is evidence of a sex recession that we are in the midst of. Or
that's evidence that they're just having more protected sex.
I mean, it's mostly evidenced by fucking 1 million abortions happening a year, and...
But couldn't it be a combination of both?
Well, yeah, I mean, like, this is all, like, one big amalgamation of society,
so
like, going off of the rails.
But you don't know it's just one thing.
Alright. Like acts of domestic terrorism are increasing because young mostly white men have nothing to live for because they are alienated from society because they're not socially acclimated to deal with society. We have a fucking population that is systematically and societally villainizing American patriotism, and that was evidenced clearly when I had, 4 liberals on last episode, and none of them particularly think America is like a great place to live, or don't think it's the greatest place to live. They don't think it's the greatest place to live.
Sure. You can be patriotic and not think your country is the greatest. That, like, being patriotic just means you want the best for your country.
It's just convenient to say that another country is better than America.
There are aspects that countries have that are. I don't even know if I would say like America isn't the best or is the best, because it's like you can take a lot of things into account for what what do you mean by the best? Because you can. I just asked it, like, if you could choose where you were national you worded
of.
You really weirdly. You didn't word it like that. You brought up risk and said, like, if you were on a risk board, what country would you use? Which made me think, okay, the most strategic way to go, which would normally be like Australia and South America, but then you went about, like, if there's anywhere you would want to live. Like, where would you go? And it's like, that's not even about a country being the best. It could just be about, like, what your personal interests are, or like for example, where Scandinavia is the happiest, or for me, where Japan has, like, anime and video games and like culture that I like and food that I like.
But I mean, sorry to bring it back to this cliche, why not go there then? If you truly think that it is,
why are you still in Bucks County? Do you think Bucks County is the best place to live in the country?
I
think it is the best place. You don't think it's expensive as shit here?
Yeah, it's expensive because it's so great.
What?
It's like we live.
Okay, California must be fantastic. New York City must be the best.
No, I don't think that they are. Like,
why? They're expensive just by that logic.
I think that New York is incredibly crowded. Like, I don't enjoy being in New York for longer than like 8 hours.
Okay.
LA, I think, is a liberal hellhole, and LA, the fucking, like, Mother Nature is out to kill everybody. There's wildfires, there's earthquakes, like, there's fucking...
Yes, this brutal winter is great. I
mean, it's not that. It's like fucking, it's 10, 15 degrees.
It's
like
single digits, are you kidding?
So what? Like,
so what? It's fucking cold, dude. What do you mean?
Is it gonna kill you?
I mean, it could. It's icy grounds.
Is it gonna displace your home?
I mean, we've had tornado warnings before, like, that can displace your home, yeah.
I mean, we've never had a tornado that was fucking powerful enough like it is in Omaha or Wichita or Oklahoma. Like, we get the joy of experiencing all 4 seasons.
I'm pretty sure, like, didn't Jersey have, like, homes destroyed by hurricanes or nor'easters?
Well, we're talking about Bucks County, not Jersey.
We're not that far from that.
Okay, but I'm saying in my lifetime, I've never felt a desire to leave.
There's a lot of places that also don't have the issues of being displaced, like your home being displaced.
Okay,
but you don't have a reason to move because you know it's a pain to move.
Yes and no. It's like if I thought that, like, bliss and tranquility were on the other side of a U-Haul truck, I'd get up and go.
But that's the thing. None of us were saying that. We're saying America's still great. This place might be marginally better. It doesn't mean we want to move there and uproot our lives just because something may be marginally better. Some place that we haven't even experienced for most part. Maybe some of us have for a little bit, but that's not the same as living there. So just saying we should uproot our lives to another place just because we think it might be a great place, it's not realistic. Just saying, oh, go move out is not a good thing to say, because no one's trying to do that. No one's saying America is just the worst place to live. We're saying it's a great place. It may not be the best. That's all we're saying.
I mean, I'm saying that it's ignorant at best because like you said, you don't know that it is even as good. Like, I think that the taxes on Americans are fairly overburdening. A lot of us feel that we could not survive getting taxed anymore. To live in a place where the taxes are substantially higher than they are in America would be like untenable.
Like where? Where's
like
that?
the Scandinavian countries and Canada. Yeah, like the countries that you say are superior to America have much higher taxes.
I mean, I say they're superior because their happiness is generally considered higher, yeah.
I mean, if you're in the highest tax bracket in Canada...
Income tax rate in Norway is 22%.
What tax bracket is that?
Calculated on general income, which is your total.
Is that the median tax bracket? Because, like that in America, I think...
If they have tax brackets or just a flat tax.
No, all countries have tax brackets.
No, some have flat taxes. As a tax resident of Norway, you must pay tax or income that you've earned during a calendar year. You'll be liable for tax on your salary and other income, including interest income, income from the letting of property, and income from shares. The income tax rate is 22%. The tax is calculated on general income, which is your total income after deductions you're entitled to have been deducted. The amount of tax you must pay will depend on your income. People on a low income pay proportionately less tax than those with a high income. Bracket tax. Calculating your personal income and is an addition, which is paid at the rate of 22%. I'm not seeing anything else.
Actually, like I said, I don't know.
We used to have a flat tax too. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know what it is in Scandinavia. I know in Canada
Norway
their taxes.
Part of Scandinavia. Scandinavia is 4 countries.
I know the tax rates in Canada are extreme.
General income is taxed at a flat rate of 22% for Norway.
Okay. I mean,
that doesn't sound much different from ours, and depending on your income rate, it's better if you live there.
The tax brackets in... Yeah, I mean, the tax brackets in America are not like a walk in the park. We're pretty fucking highly taxed as well. All right. Jesus. Sweden has a 70% tax rate.
Jeez.
Oh my god. AOC suggests 70% marginal tax rate. Fuck. I didn't know that. Maybe she's a lot fucking stupider than I gave her credit for.
Are you sure? I think in Sweden, the average single worker faced a net average tax rate of 23.9% in 2023. Compared with the OECD average of 24.9%. In other words, in Sweden, the take-home pay of an average single worker after tax benefits was 76. Are you sure you're not reading what they took home? It's saying 24% is their tax.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
There's something that AOC said. She said that Sweden has a 70% tax rate, but I don't think that's accurate.
So Norway's top marginal tax rate of 39% applies to all income over 1.5 times the Norwegian average.
Where did he even say that? I saw that it was a flat tax.
The top marginal tax rate of 46.8%, that is state and federal combined, kicks in only at 8.5 times the average U.S. income. But yeah, I mean, like, Sweden has a top statutory personal income tax rate of 52%. Sweden has controlled foreign corporation rules that apply to both passive and active income. In Denmark, there is, however, a tax ceiling, which is this maximum tax rate applicable to personal income This ceiling is designed to ensure that the total income tax does not exceed 52% for personal income. Church tax and labor market contributions are not included in this tax ceiling.
Okay, so it looks like I'm seeing. So a lot of the countries have 0% tax rates as their minimum, including like Finland, and their highest being like 53 in Austria for the members of the Orthodox Church. So some of them are like very descriptive ones. Corporate tax.
Peanut, which Qatar, which Peanut calls a shithole, has a 0 income tax rate.
Like as the minimum, or
like there's, I guess, no tax. There's no income taxes, I guess, in Qatar.
How do they pay for anything? How do they get money? How does the government get money?
I mean, that's a good question. They probably are just like in bed with all these corporations, and they're like the UAE.
So I guess that's one way to do it.
The UAE has the lowest corporate tax rate. British Virgin Islands and the Bahamas have very low or even 0 corporate tax rates. However, it's important to note they have low or no income tax. Other taxes like property tax, sales taxes, and customs duty may still apply.
Like our lowest is 10% federal, 37% federal is our highest.
All right. I don't want to get too into this because I feel like it's bad content. Yeah. So I think it's probably time that we finish up, right?
None.
No, I'm not finished.
None. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
Last year, this year I weighed 165.
No, ma'am. I said you're finished. You're finished.
I'm done.
Yep.
There's nothing for me.
Not realistically.
Once again, we want to humbly thank our listeners and pay them ample gratitude for their patronage. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to have such a high-quality interactive show, so thank you, audience.
So the audience are a bunch of hoes.
Yup.
I'd like to take this time to remind all of our listeners that we're spreading like a virus. The Good Faith Podcast is now officially on YouTube Live with video as well as archived there, and also Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Spotify, RSS.com, Amazon Music, Samsung Podcasts, Listen Notes, iHeartRadio, and Patreon. On Patreon, we're working to build additional value for the multiple tiers of donors with special content, super chat priority, and VIP in-person meetings. We do value your attention, so thank you for quieting your TikTok brain for the last 3 hours. This is a reminder, if you feel you got any value from our show, it takes basically 0 extra work to like and subscribe, and it'll move us closer to our goal of having thousands of subscribers, which will bump us up in the algorithm and expose us to more potential listeners. If you guys want to share us with more of your friends, we would be absolutely delighted to extend our outreach. The quickest way for us to broaden our exposure is for you listeners to each share us with one friend. We appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. If you're interested in joining the Iruyubiyamu movement, feel free to retweet the hashtag. Also, stay cognizant to treat people with identical worldviews to your own with dignity and respect. Then, if somebody's opinion deviates from yours in any way, our movement advocates for treating them like absolute shit. Remember, a civil level of respect is only earned by people who mirror your beliefs. Hashtag Iruyubiyamu. If you live in the greater Philadelphia area, want to guest star on our show, want to go on a date with anybody on the show, or have a sincere desire to move in with us, we're down a roommate, desperately need one. Please reach out to us in an Instagram DM at Christopher Bulick. The Patreon link's in the description, and all proceeds will go towards rent, food, electricity, new computer equipment to improve our general show quality, and Clark's medical expenses.
Kelly Bullitt said, "Night, Chris. Love you, smiling face with hearts.
Night.
Smiling face with smiling eyes and hugging hands."
It's all into.
I seek external validation, so please send more heart
I
emojis.
knew it.
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I like money. To all of our faithful audience.
So the audience are a bunch of hoes.
Yup.
Why didn't you play the I Like Money one?
I open a savings account in your name. That way, 500 years later, it'll be worth billions. Billions.
Oh, I like money.
To all of our faithful audience, we want to wish you a happy and healthy lifestyle, and to all of you, we bid you goodbye.
Goodbye. And if you need money, sell rocks. I heard that's what they do around here.
Peace. Long live Punjabi.